going to be tough anyway. A lot of teams have gone 2-1 recently versus Heretics, but beating them this split has been a completely different story. For Vitality, it's their first shot at getting to Champions, but let's be real. The second shot's not going to be any easier. It's either FUT or Fnatic, so they're going to want to get it done first time.
Yeah, certainly no easy matches awaiting them. For Vitality, this is the map that we expect, or that we very much hope they can get locked away, regardless of what counters, what holes in play they think they've seen from Heretics over on Sunset, or even on Bind. Oh, I like this little alt plant position, so they're going to be free. Shock Dart's not denying plant. Vitality set up for a post plant with a little bit of aggression from Safe. Shouldn't be surprised. He's been popping off in so many of their games, actually sticking around for a bit more too.
Already. Can try and get back in on the retake. The Neon, well, we saw Tamazi play it not long ago. It was a failure already. A slightly better start, but it's only going to be the trade. Wingman will be denied, so not even half. No early attempt at the defusal, but the kills are going their way. Woot with one. Another coming up for Woot, in fact, and now it's left all on to Runner. He's hit some nice shots. That's a good start, but he's run out of ammo. They're going to defuse before he can even get anywhere near them. And what the damage, the extra orbs will be nice, but the round has gone Heretics' way.
It has, yeah. They flooded back into that A site, managed to take all the space. Getting Woot up top, I think, is a big factor. Everybody's focused on the fights down below, and he's able to swing through. A nice confidence builder. Not the Heretics need it realistically. A 1-0 start in their defensive side. We'll see a mixed buy coming out of them. Vitality down to the dumps. But look, losing that pistol, it's not the end of the world, but it would have been nice to have a solid start on the map they need.
Yeah, I think the fun thing here for Heretics is obviously the last composition they were running had Miniboo playing the initiator of a KO, and then it had Woot playing the Jet. And that was something that I think many people wanted to see because of the success that they had, but I think it put both players in positions that maybe they didn't want to be in. Like, Woot has actively said that he doesn't want to be the duelist. He likes playing that second man in and can do better individually. And the same can be said, well, for Miniboo. Being that point of contact is just something he seems to love. For now, though, this buy, it's maybe a little bit weaker than you'd normally see as a second round, Mitch. And seeing that Outlaw in play, okay, the thing they have got is shields, which is the one problem for him is not having light shields. Okay, he's still going to be able to do a lot of damage, but maybe he doesn't get the kill.
Well, that's it. There's the first shot. It lands on Boo. Wall got in the way, and still, Boo is happy. 36 HP, able to back off and play the late round. Like you said, there are a lot of weaknesses here. In fact, if you think about ranged fights, there's not really any advantages.
There's an outlaw now.
Yeah, okay, now they've been outlaw, but starting the round, it's only the Bulldog that sits in an advantageous position. With that outlaw seized, though, it's one shot to the body for anyone. And, well, with any weapon, that's true for Kicks. He's down on 6 HP, Trex on 51 with classics in their hand, but they have planted the spike. That means Heretics have to push into them, and maybe they can make this costly. But with 2 pistols in play, they are going to have to kill a lot of this defensive side.
Yeah, I think we'd be calling some serious questions. Don't get me wrong, we saw Trex win a 1v5 yesterday, and the same questions could be asked, but I don't have that expectation when it comes to Heretics. It is going to be squeaky clean as they will get themselves that second round onto the board. Even maybe looking to see if there's anything extra to be found by the looks of it.
Flawless.
I think he needs a bigger sign, just slightly bigger.
Okay, I can't read it from here. Get the glasses on. Yeah, flawless response. So we talked about damage being difficult to connect, but without a single player falling, with some upgrades there for the side of Heretics, I think this is a very, very successful round. Outlaw in play for the next. This is going to be Miniboo searching for opportunities, and, well, thanks to the investments of Vitality and how expensive some of that util is, 3 players are coming out on the attack side with light shields, and they've gifted a weapon to the defense that can one-shot them.
Yeah, also because of it, Runner's going to be left with just a pistol. So it almost comes in like they're playing a bonus here rather than, well, what you'd normally see of the 4-buy. And because you've got that Outlaw plus the rifle bought up additionally for Benji, I would say these buys almost come across as even, especially when you factor in the fact that Thrash is available as well. And look at where the Vitality players are currently sitting. Now, something they have to be wary of is Benji. He is going to push and take control in mid a lot. This is something that if you leave that space open, he is going to be pressuring you. He's going to make things awkward. But with, I guess, the early presence shown, he's actually going to stack up on A.
Bit surprised it's Runner that's actually poking about on mid. He's sent to destroy some of that utility and, I guess, contain Benji, but he is the one player with a Sheriff, so probably don't want to see him taking an outright fight anytime soon. Although Benji Fishy might just be about to get the opportunity. Yeah, it's not a favored one for Runner, and the result is as predicted. One player down, and flank protection now gone for Vitality. If they are going to make a move, well, it's going to have to be pretty direct, and their back will be open.
35 seconds. Fair few players here, but Trex has done fantastic work. Already getting the openers. They've cleared out Woot as well. That is about as clean as a take into 3 players is ever going to get. Still, you got the rifle of Benji. 22 seconds. He can try and be disruptive. You expect that they're going to fight the back line. He's going to manage just one. And now it's up to Boo. Now the spike is down on the deck, but with 30 HP, not really anything he can hope to fight here. And just going to try and do as much damage as possible.
Yeah, the time might make it feel exciting, but there really was not a chance for him to deny that. And as he even swings in to try to get some space, Trex is there for his 3rd of the round. That's 2-1. Again, something about that scoreline just makes me happy, Tom. And for Vitality, it's certainly going to make them happy. Round on the board, even after losing the opening pick, after losing Runner. And I was wondering what happened to Rien's up top, because I saw him there, and he was being quite passive, waiting for the initial contact. I think even waiting for the Gecko flash to come out. And before that happens, he gets shot through the wall by 3 bullets. So, unlucky. I mean, what can you say about that?
Even still, though, with what was on the board, 3 kills is going to force a fair few rebuys, and obviously on the other side for Heretics, they're going to come in with an incredibly strong buy. That Thrash still kept. Now, Kix has almost got his on the other side, and they're going to immediately look to put the pressure onto Benji. As I said, he loves to get aggressive, he loves to try and take space, so denying that in the early stages of the round is pretty important.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy as well. Crossing with Orb, you're faced into a 1 versus 1 fight, or maybe even 2v1, because you'll often see, like even in this round, Runner was there backing him up. So Runner and Safe are going through the tube, they're pushing you back, and then they've got a free shot on your turret, unless someone's standing on ramp, and even then it's a decent fight. Okay, Runner's dead. Surely. The Orb's protected him for a moment, but it's about to fall, and there you go. Rienz gets the kill, but for his trouble, Woot's down to 8 HP. So still an advantageous spot for Vitality, especially if this plant goes down, and it has just about.
It's a great position to fight from. Trying to get aggressive. Thrash is actually going to be used from the attack side and the defense at the same time. It's going to be the trade out. Unfortunately, they can't pick up each other's. That would definitely help them out a little bit. You can also see the aggressive positioning of Safe. There's someone they need to clear and haven't been able to. The trade almost immediate. And now Trex, so fantastic with his utility yesterday, trying to work with those post plants. They got a pop flash ready, and with Woot so desperately low, he'll fall, but the trades are so quick. Rienz comes out of that with 3, and well, they got plenty of time in the end to defuse.
3v3 retake, 1 player super low, spike planted in the open, and time starting to put the pressure on, but Vitality not able to close it out. That is a shock. The only player that died was, I think, 8 HP on Woot.
Yeah.
After that fight there. I mean, fair play, well done. And for them to actually wrestle that out of their control has gotta hurt the attacking side morale at this point. That was their way back in. They win the previous round, they start to put them on the board, and here you can push your opponents down to a lower buy, to a rougher position, and instead, Vitality are now in that boat. They've not got a lot to work with. In fact, I'm taking a look at the buy. I saw 2 Stingers. That's even been downgraded to a Sheriff alongside the Stinger and a Ghost. So many weaknesses. Still 2 rifles, though. They can pack a punch in some of these fights.
Something to play with. The pace that they're working at, it's going to put Rienz under some pressure. I will say, again, he plays a lot of these supportive roles, him on Breach and Sova, but the man is a statistical anomaly. The amount he is able to do on these sort of agents is always so impressive. Safe, though, he's going to try and get up in their face. That 1 gun already is going to be put to good use. They're going to have a man advantage.
Bullseye.
However, again, it's this man. The trade immediately back. They have to fall incredibly passive just because of the lockdown, and straight away they're going to use the Hunter's Fury, but it definitely seems like Heretics were ready for that, and even try and push off the back of it.
And they know that so many of these players are low, happy to even take a fight up on the rope, and the quick trade after. Pre-fire from Boo is straight to the head of Kick, so ignore the HP disparity. And a clean fight from Benji Fishy to close that one out. 4-1. And Team Heretics not breaking much of a sweat in the early game. Their retakes have been on point. Even starting it out in the pistol round, it was looking good. But now with rifles and utility in their opponent's hands, I thought it would get a little bit more dicey. And it seems like, yeah, Safe getting aggressive in some of these post plans. He's always able to grab a pick so far. But after that, even with equal numbers, even with advantages, it falls effortlessly into Heretics' hands. This is a concerning sign early on in the series.
Yeah, that's the thing. Their retake, well, You can look at the scoreboard, it tells you all you need to know. Four of the rounds they won are coming out for retakes, but also, yeah, they're in positions where I'm looking at Vitality and going, okay, this should be desperately close, and each time Heretics are coming out with 3 players. Same setup again. Vitality found a gap that, especially in the openers, they did well. They got that into a 4v3 post plant. It was just the way that Heretics were able to get back in. The quick rotation, though, is impressive. There are going to be 4 players here by the time that this Vitality roster get onto the site.
But their back still covered as well by Benji Fishy's utility. Vitality, though, is this a fake? Is it not? It's very hard to read. They go forward for the orb. They start running back. You see Viper's pit was ready to be put down, but it can't be. Then they reposition up top to pipes. I think that's where the pit wants to be used, but they've lost a player in the meantime. It looked like they changed their minds, or maybe just stalled out the play, lost a player for their trouble. Reveal gets them all, though. Shock darts thrown through. It's a target-rich environment, so the damage can be done with just that. And Vitality are stalled, still running into a 4-man stack-up, and there's about to be a big battle around the right side. Safe is the one to take the brunt of that. Again, you're just having Heretics picking off one player, and it's not like Vitality are capitalizing off that by pushing through, by trading. Instead, they're staggering into a later play that, again, I don't see the advantage here. And, well, the fight that comes down has just got so many guns on Team Heretics' side, so many crossfires that Vitality walks straight into. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pause after that.
Well, there you go. And then Andaluthia flawless as well for the side of Heretics. That was 2 kills from Riens while on 11 HP. He's just re-swinging the angle, taking those fights. But I also want to point out the supportive utility. We saw the Dizzy go through from Whoop, which I think caught 3 players the first time they tried to aggress. Then they try and aggress again. The Dart pings 3 players. So every time there's a moment where you'll watch Heretics go, okay, they haven't shown any presence. Let's start rotating players to look at mid, see if we can catch them.
Up and over. Hey guys, we're coming A. We're going to come A. And every step of the round, Heretics knew what their opponent's plan was. Yeah. We can't see that again. I think the solution is to focus more around this mid control early, like we saw from Runner and Safe, going up tube, destroying the utility, pressuring early, and then resetting into a fight.
Well, the thing is, it seems like the opponents have had the exact same idea. They doubled up. The expectation, the read from Heretics is exactly what you said. Okay, they need to try and pressure somewhere else. We're going to do exactly the same.
Yep.
This is now a pretty rough position, if it wasn't already. The Blade Storm gone. They do have a couple of ultimates, but with Sheriffs and a single Stinger, I'd be surprised if they expend any of them.
It's just been fantastic calls by Heretics so far. Really have to commend them. And you're about to see another stacked up, but oh no!
Okay.
There's the gap. Finally, there's an issue to be seen. Heretics had a blind spot. Now 5 HP left on Miniboo. This is the advantage that Vitality have been looking for. Viper's Pit used, and with pistols and a Stinger in play, this is perfect. Alarmbot's covering their back. No one has to watch back there. Trex might be dead. He could get one, but he's in a lot of... They're not checking him. He's in absolutely no trouble whatsoever. Free to step right back into the pit and play late. Advantages doubled up on. Miniboo might as well be dead. He's basically living inside of the Viper's Pit on the 5 HP. Deep Mosh going to deny any defuse. I think that covers it. Yeah, they have to back off. Now they go back in through the pit, and you've got a snake bite. That's catching Woot. Now they're all 1 HP. Kix is able to get a free kill to the body of Riens, and with Miniboo left on 5. This round, well, the conclusion seemed to already be written. Now, it's just a formality. A second round finally found for Vitality, and they do it with the weaker weapons.
Yeah, a pay safe card, Thrifty, to bring them up another round, to double up that scoreline. And sure, it was a big investment into the ultimates, but 100% worth it. And all of that was just because of a gap. That's what we witnessed in this round. The start was fantastic from the side of Heretics with the read, but then they just left enough space. They were able to walk up, corners not checked properly, and that's definitely a blip that thus far in the map we haven't seen. I also like as well, like this round for me felt a little bit more decisive from Vitality. I think that's been one of the other things that I can be a bit critical of in the round before, is they were very indecisive if they were going to go forward or back. This round though, again, straight in, clearing a lot of angles towards that B site. But again, there are 3 players here already from Heretics.
One step ahead as usual. Miniboo straight into the fight. What a beautiful push on the back of the utility. The snake bite used as well. This is gorgeous. And Vitality are left locked out of that control. They have to fight forward just to get the spike back. And Heretics are going to give it to them. Damage done to Safe, they don't know about that, but Sender and Runner left alive in this situation, 3 versus 5. Well, Heretics have been great in the retakes. They might not need one this round.
Even when you see Runner attempting to cross. he's going to be met with some resistance, and obviously the players on the A side are yet to really move. You've got the drone already coming through, but I don't think that will have spotted anything, which might actually be a bit of a false flag for them. Again, though, when you're in a 5 versus 3 scenario, you're not exactly going to rotate your players away.
A bit of a red herring that the B site might be the way it's going. Spike is able to creep across and will be spotted in just a moment. The fight in mid is everything, though. They've lost runner, and this is the facet that's stopped Vitality from having success in post plants. They haven't been able to send out the mid lurk, to send a player behind to cause the pressure and close out some of these rounds. Instead, it's been full frontal aggression from this attacking side. They won the last with the Viper's Pit, but it's not here now. And plenty of players, even if Heretics are rusty on the initial trades, they've got enough bodies to keep throwing at these battles. Huge play needed, and almost, oh, it seemed like Safe had the gap, but they strike just at the right moment on Heretics. 6 rounds locked in already. This has been a great defensive half, and the problem is it's not really showing signs of slowing down.
No, another Andalusia flawless to add to the collection that's building for Heretics, and that's been the thing that's also so impressive is it seems like every time there's maybe a hero play or a big round that comes out of Vitality, an investment of a lot of ults, the response in the buy rounds, is the confidence shattered? Absolutely not. They're going straight back to these fights. They've got some cool early setups that are clearly causing issues. And then also just Miniboo is able to rotate around the map so quickly. They always seem to have that bolstered defense. And I think as well, like, this is a guy who's been very self-critical. I don't think that the community or analysts or commentators or anybody has been going, oh yeah, I think Miniboo's been having a rough time. He's been critical of himself. Yep. Right now, he is blitzing Vitality.
Well, I think his confidence is certainly back. He will be denied that fight by the Gecko Flash, and it will be recovered down below. The same as for both. And with Woot finding an orb, Thrash is now online for Team Heretics. Big ultimate. I'm not sure Mini-Boos will be quite as impactful, but alongside some of the weakening utility, who knows?
Maybe now it will. Now that you've said
now
it.
that I've called it out, 4K coming in.
Yeah, you know, they light shields. A few headshots here and there.
He has got the tracking for it. Nah.
Might not even use it though, that's the thing. He's been so clean with the rifle, and now that you have the accuracy on the slides, it's almost not needed. Again, straight back into his classic spot. Benji is just holding down mid control. Now, the one place that they've had some success was managing to catch out Boo, but you can see he's a lot more passive, and they've had successful retakes. They also have Thrash, so they don't really feel the need.
Benji destroyed the turret. Runner knows that he's here. At least knows that he peeked out at Tube. He couldn't get there in time to see if he crossed. Although I didn't see him cross back. The shot's not hit. Benji's looking for that and steps right back out for another fight. He's a little greedy. Look at this. Massive rotation from Heretics in the back of that information. 3 players ready on A. Thrash even sent out early with 20 seconds left. It's a disruptive play. It's kept close and sent in to maybe detain that spike and slow them. 12 seconds. It caught one, but not the spike. Kicks is still lined up, ready to go.
Where are they going? They're
going. They're leaving it.
That round has just been lost to time. That is not the way that we wanted to see this one go for Vitality. But again, just the mid control. It's Benji. I think we can even see his cam. I saw it when the second he made that peek, he was going, hey, like literally just screaming it down the microphone. And then they just have the ultimate. And the ultimate deters that initial push. Either then you're going to try and send in your your spike blind and just hope that you can get that plant down.
I thought that's what they were going to do. Flash through with Gecko and just
but there was also,
at the site. But
I believe there was also nano swarms that were, look, you can see them still going on the site. So you're going to have to send it through nano swarms, which probably isn't going to work. Oh, so it's just like, they played that to perfection with the timing of the ult and the extra utility.
It is not an easy call to make, and I don't think most teams would have made it. Now they have to capitalize on it.
Well, also it means that, think about the round that they won in round 7. That was based off ultimates. Yeah. You've gained 0 orbs in that round. Like, you're not going to get anything back towards farming up those late rounds. That's a good start, though. Benji has been a nuisance, whether it's been fragging or whether it's been just holding on to middle control. Getting rid of him early is a vital part of these rounds.
A little request for Andy. I don't know if Runner got the kill before the orb went up or at least saw him. I'm assuming he did. If not, that's a wild spray and one that's landed. Sanders hearing the noise. At least 2 players pushed up close. Might even hear the 3rd set of steps as they start to go back. It depends when Boo decides to start running. If he decides to start running, he's sticking around. And that's a mistake, as we can see. Vitality pick him off round the corner. They thought B was open. Heretics finally on the back foot when it comes to early reads, and 5 versus 3 as well. They need a hero to step up, and it won't be Woot. Shut down by the Shock Dart. Miniboo and Rian's left to pick up the pieces. And you can see the benefit for Vitality of bringing those rifles through to the next.
Yeah, this is the best spot they've been in a while. No doubt about that. Turret already going to spot out Miniboo. Rian's still very far away from even getting into any position to help. Shock darts to the back of sight. We'll do at least a little bit of extra damage to safe, and I believe there might be another one, so he's got to be careful about that. 13 HP. They can at least try and make this one costly. Miniboo's going to drop the first, but the problem now, that time ticking and no friends to play with, it's just going to have to be a crazy 1v3, and it isn't going to be. Kicks will put a 3rd round on the board for Vitality. Still a long, long way to go, but at least they're back.
Well, that's it. Look, I think the worst thing that could have happened, well, it's kind of simple. They lose the round. And if they do, oh, here it is. Yeah, he sees him just before the orb even lands. The worst thing that happens is you call that five-man save. You abandon the round, you come in here and you get shut down. If that happens, your morale's gone. I think the map is gone. But they bounced back. They found their footing. Success on the site without needing ultimates as well. Problem is, and the problem has been, stringing rounds together. Heretics might have had a hiccup, a bump in the road here and there, but they have been on their game in the follow-ups. This round, a few players spotted pushing A, and with the tag, the Hunter's Fury is going to be used. He's caught one, but the second pulse is not good. Woot escapes with his life, ready to fight in the late round.
See if that comes back to bite them. A change-up of setup, though. I think the aggressive play towards B that caught them has now deterred Boo from that position. Still has utility to support for Kitchen, but that's the information they were looking for. As players on that side of the map, immediately Boo is going to start his rotation, but they have kept their aggressive spot over on A. The thing is, though, and I don't blame them, Vitality are sticking this one. They're going to go right in to this B-side push. Viper's Pit will be dropped and actually may just claim the spike, but the attackers have managed to retrieve it.
They have, but planting will be a difficulty. Boo uses his snake bite now to deny further, and it looks like Vitality might think about going all the way back. Look at Runner's position. He's anchoring down in mid, looking for space in the late round, and I think well, I'm seeing the pings. Seems like they might try to send him through the arches. Again, the turret is watching for that cross, so the info will be there for Heretics if they do that. Second player comes back, it's Trex reuniting on mid, orb is up. They're starting to take that space, but 25 seconds left. That mid flank's going to have to be damn near perfect. They're on their way. Turret destroyed. Now the info's there. Heretics know they're being wrapped on. They want to focus forward on the site, on stopping that spike from meeting the floor. The wraparound from Boo seems decent. He's in his pit. He's right at the spike. Planter, and he's got him. 10 seconds left now. They need to pick up the pace, attempting another plant. Boo on his way around the other side, and he's caught them again. The spams are good. Everything's working for Heretics. Locked out of the round are Vitality. Boo with some beautiful play inside the pit, and he even gets the last. A gorgeous round from the IGL of Heretics. And again, Vitality find a round, but not the follow-up.
That's the thing, no matter who you are, what server you're in, if you think you're the smartest player and you're up against Boo, you're wrong. This guy, just his read of that scenario was perfect. The second the turret is there, wraps all the way around, the pit is perfectly placed so he has a gap in every single position. They even then have shock darts being thrown into the corners from Riens just to make sure that there is no safe place to plant. And then even dropping the pit at the end just to make sure he can kill off the last guy. That was gorgeous from the IGL.
That puts a smile on your face, unless you're a Vitality fan. Then I would bet it does the opposite. Miniboo, early off-sided, but he swaps right away just to destroy. Oh, well, he's in trouble. Thing is, they've still got a spam to take him down. He's on 1 HP. He's surviving, and he's dead. Just like that. Maybe a follow-up for safe as well. It's Center that picks it up. He's still on top, causing problems. 16 HP, though. Needs to be careful not to overcommit to these fights. He's better staying alive, but Boo's managed to drop him. And with Trex on the floor as well, it's only Runner. Spike still needs to be planted. In fact, it's not in the easiest position to retrieve either. And Heretics, well, Boo, you talk about how smart of a player is. He's definitely not hungry to keep fragging. He's in the spawn. This was a ranked game, you might think he's AFK. He's just not allowing Runner the opportunity to push forward and isolate the duel because his teammate's on the other side.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's just like, you know what, Benji, yeah, of all people, you need to practice your clutching. So I'm going to put you into the 1v1. No, he is just that patient, waiting. And because that plant hasn't come down, they're not risking it. They don't want to give him a 1v1 opportunity. Benji is now just wrapping in. Oh, he's got the timing absolutely perfect. Boo won't even get to the site before the round is already done. 9-3 defensive half. This is a map where Heretics have been really shaky as of recent. You're talking about losses to Koi and Gentlemates, teams that you would expect them to absolutely obliterate. The next map is a map that they have won 10 times in a row. I'm very nervous for Vitality because this version of Heretics, well, it's looking unbeatable.
It is. It very much is. This was the map that we had hope for them on, and then it starts to wane from there. That tells you everything you need. 9-3. That attack side already built up a significant lead for Vitality. It's been around here or there. Retakes early for Heretics were fantastic. Towards the end, they didn't even let the spike go down. They're winning off time. This defensive side has one hell of a challenge, and well, the first challenge will be Miniboo's already here, ready to fight, but Runner was ready. He's familiar with his strategy.
It's about as ready as you could be for someone full sprint, and they've got the read
Runner
already. 3 players on this side. Safe's not going to win that opening battle, though. A singular flash is actually going to catch Kicks. It doesn't. So there's going to be a surprise. Trexie's stolen that kill with a shock dart. Always seems to be well placed. And they're holding strong in this scenario. So many low players as well that this Sheriff is becoming more deadly by the second. It's still only going to be a one-man advantage. Benji, he'll go down, and now it's left all on Taboo to try and fight this 1v2. First goes his way, but he's left to just 7 HP. It's a little bit risky from his opponent, but it works out for Sender. Vitality, a second pistol, will be theirs. The question, though, is this the start of something?
Well, that's it. They needed this second half pistol under their belt. After just finding a round here or there in the last half, this is their chance to build up, and, well, they very much need that, the lead that's already in Team Heretics' hands. We saw a very light buy from Heretics after they won the pistol on defense. It was, I think, just one. It was a Bulldog, Spectres, and Ghosts. Maybe a Ghost and a Sheriff, but pistols, SMGs, a lot of that. Vitality don't seem to be in the same school of thought. 2 Guardians, a Bulldog, and an Outlaw.
Well, that's the thing. They can't really afford to be playing bonus rounds at this point. The only thing that makes me nervous is look at the light shields. It's only Trex who actually has the full shield. So this means Miniboo is actually the most dangerous player in the server, which, well, you're not going to be too surprised with how he's been playing so far. But if he can isolate the fight, especially onto Sender, that will be this site completely under their control. Now, normally, you're going to see this man try and use the orb from this position. So they're expecting him to have that almost one-way in spot, but instead, they're already looking to try and get that plant down. It's not going to be happening.
I like the nano thrown through. It's not placed early so they can break it. It's thrown just when it's needed. Drops the spike to the floor, delays the play. Miniboo, oh, he was looking for a kill. Makes it out with his life, and that's still dangerous. Now it's not. Quick shot delivered. Someone can recover that, and in fact, it was Rian's picking up the Outlaw. Now looking for more victims. Remember, just the 1 shot needed, and if this round ends up playing out as one player taking a fight and someone else picking up his weapon when he dies, that's not the end of the world. The only problem is they're running out of time to force those fights. 23 seconds left. They make some steps, actually. Those are intentionally fake steps. I think possibly it's Runner that can hear those. They make their way back, and it doesn't look like Vitality have given up the space.
That's 12 seconds. The thing is, for the most part, they either need this plant or they need to die. That's the only way that this is going to work out, and it's a double shock dart kill for Trex. They've been on point. There's no doubt about it. And while for Rian's, he's going to want to go down here. The Outlaw's nice, but realistically, he doesn't want to hold on to this. And well, he will do. Someone's going to have to take the hit with that one going into the next round.
I think this time Vitality might have a few more heavy shields to work around. Shock dart through, the orb was up as well, so they're decayed and then slapped with the shock dart. There's nothing you can do about that.
Also, Benji was in there trying to defend in case anybody actually pushed into it.
With so little time, he had to. Like it. Vitality back on the horse. 2 in a row. A chance for a third. Boo, left down to a pistol. You've also got the Outlaw in play. There's weaknesses here for the attack side. If Vitality had a chance, this is certainly where they'd want to convert it.
Great start for Safe. The opener onto Miniboo. Boo's already going to be down to a pistol as well. Obviously, someone had to drop over that Outlaw in the last round, so there are some serious vulnerabilities. The patience could work out, but actually, no, Safe hits the shot. And Rian's doesn't return in kind. Bear in mind, Safe still has those light shields, so he is one-shot death to that gun, but it doesn't seem to matter. He's the one in the better position here. A bit of a fake coming in on that B side, but I think they've managed to get so far that they're actually going to start pulling the rotation the rest of the team.
Bot coming back.
Vitality of 3 players here ready. Wasn't success to be found last time around, and there won't be this time either. Clean response from Trex. He's been punishing them every time they step foot near that B site. And it's the spike down on the ground again. The wingman deleted, I think, by a snake bite this time. This round already lost by the looks of things.
30 seconds left.
Want to take some weapons out of Vitality's hands. Rand's left on 10 HP. He's not going to be the one to win a lot of these battles.
One
But
enemy
maybe
remaining.
if he can land one of those shots,
Spike down B.
well, he might need a few more now.
Are we going to see it for a third round? No, this time Safe again is going to be the one with the Outlaw, winning all of those fights. A big round for Vitality to take. As I said, this map is the one where you look at it and go, okay, even though they're a very competent team on Sunset, and I think if anybody was going to give the side of Heretics a run for their money on that map, it could be them. You can't go into that map expecting to win. Like, that is such a fortress for Heretics to play around. But bringing this one back, well, maybe that will change things. And to put it into perspective, what's on the line for Heretics, they're already qualified. It's guaranteed. Either they will make it through to the top 3, or it will be them going through on championship points. That will happen no matter what. Vitality are the only team left in playoffs still fighting for their spot of champions. They win this game, and they've done it.
And they lose this game, they've got another shot.
True, but it's not easier.
End of the world, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. In this day and age, I feel like any game is easier than a game against Heretics, especially with this veto. Sunset and Bind up next.
I don't know, I feel like Foot with no pressure is
That's also true,
not
yeah.
better. Fnatic
If they
in
just
playoffs.
don't give a damn.
Fnatic in playoffs?
Fnatic recently, though, they've been shaky.
Fnatic in
It's been
playoffs.
challenging. Yeah, I mean, you make a good point.
They won the last one.
Yeah. Goes against this squad. Heretics, they want their spot in the final again, but Vitality denying it in this round. 3 kills already. It was a very weak buy out of Heretics, and well, you can see the results of that clearly. It's an Andalucia flawless for Team Vitality. This was looking like a damning scoreline not long ago. 15 minutes back, this is Heretics' game. Now, the gap is down to 2, and Vitality might be in with a shot.
Yeah, that's it. This has been the map where we've seen shakier sides from Heretics, and I think their defensive side is one that many won't have played against. So having that Neon on defense, very aggressive, getting a lot of openers, but now Miniboo has to be that tip of the spear, which definitely becomes a little bit more difficult. You don't have that elevate.
Heretics, but the pause called to center themselves at 9-7. Vitality hot on their heels.
That's my job.
We even see, looking at the buy, Safe has got the operator. He had a big round with the Outlaw. 3 kills just a moment ago. Now he's upgraded his sniper. Team Heretics have to be wary of that. They've got a Thrash to work with on the attack side, but Vitality have that and then some, with the Hunter's Fury backing up their Thrash. Ult economy certainly swings towards the defenders for now.
Placing a
Best chance they've had.
This looks like a good opportunity, not only at plant denial, but also at retaking. And you can clear a lot of ground. For now, at least. Just trying to figure out where this push is going. Sender's going to take that turret down, so remove some of the information from the other side. And I believe a dart just went over the top that revealed Boo in spawn, which, again, I feel like Trex must have some of the sweatiest lineups the world has ever seen. Maybe it was the drone. Either way, though. It's now going to be that take in towards the A site, clearing things out with the Thrash. But as we've said, there's a lot in response.
Hunter's Fury's caught Woot up top, and it's actually followed up. A double kill. Woot and Boo down and out. That's a disaster for Heretics. They can rely on the flank from Benji Fishy, but he almost got picked off by the operator. And now, well, you better bet Vitality are ready. We've seen many rounds for Heretics in the defense. They didn't have to worry about their back. That's not true for Vitality, but they're sent. Oh, they were sent out to find him, but he evaded them. A pixel away from being seen. Now the timing could actually be perfect. Everyone is focused on the site itself. It's Safe super far behind. In fact, there might not be anyone for him to pick off. We've already seen Miniboo get aggressive, and Rienz is in the same boat, and the timing absolutely perfect. But now the steps are heard. He's forced to move faster thanks to his team going down. Benji revealing himself. It's an easy kill for Safe. 8 rounds locked in for Vitality. 1 away from equalizing. At 9-3, I had no faith, especially with how dominant some of the rounds were for Heretics. But I guess thinking back, Vitality were lost at times. It seemed like they were stalled out by utility they weren't expecting, by setups they were second guessing. And now, well, they're playing a perfect game. There doesn't seem to be much about this attack side that's catching them off guard.
Yeah, a beautiful Hunter's Fury again. Like, even just doing damage for the most part or delaying would have been huge, but I think it's just the fact that even though you've got yourself that spot where they're wary of Benji, they realize that if they can clear the site out before he can have any impact, then he has to run, and that's exactly what happened. He was a little bit late to the party, but also he had to be, because they went hunting him down. I think also Miniboo wanted to get ahead and try and get aggressive, and that ended up being the downfall. Benji needed them to buy time, and if anything, they somewhat did the opposite.
4 pistols and a Guardian for Team Heretics. Early aggression on A, grab the orb, and the movement back
Poison orb emitting.
towards this A side. Killjoy Utilities waiting for them on B, same turret that we've seen a million times, covering off the walkout. Even if you use the orb to cross under tube, it's going to see you. So Vitality have a lot of map control, and I'm surprised to see them so heavily stacked up on the B side. That's what they expect the take to come through. Maybe confident in their retakes on A or in Safe's ability to hold with the off, but his advanced control has just been quelled a little bit. And the flash pushes him backwards. Again, Heretics are resetting. Maybe Vitality have made their correct call. Maybe they've read into how they play these low buys. Still 3 players on B. It seems like Heretics wanted to go back here. Boo broke a few bits of utility. And now
30
they go back
seconds
in the
left.
other direction. The A side.
The thing is, though, they've already rotated it 1 player. Kix is here to support. They've actually all run past him, and because of that, Rians is going to be the one to take the bite of it. Already, though, a couple of kills coming in. The trade's still going in favor of this Vitality squad. Benji, up close, needs to find something, and that's a crazy shot. Jumping down below. I think he might have seen Sender as well, but the info's there for him. It's left all onto the IGL again, trying to wrap back around, but the timing's not great. He's managed to dodge the first fight, but his counter IGL of Sender, his doppelganger, will be there to level things up. 9-9, a comeback of impressive proportions when it comes to this defensive side. And now Heretics, well, we're starting to worry about their icebox once again.
Absolutely. 9-9. 6 rounds in a row. After 9-3 down at the half, the pistol, we said, might carry some weight, and it looks like it most certainly has. That injection of rounds, if it went to Heretics, could have been damning. That's a ballsy shot to hit, to even take in the first place. But now to end up neck and neck, well, it's understandable that Team Heretics aren't happy about where they're at. They've called a timeout.
Great job of putting him in a spot that gets them a lot of information, and then everybody else is constantly moving, constantly fluid. So if that's allowed to happen, similarly to what we have from Benji in mid, it's going to be difficult for them to truly find a gap within this defense.
Drone followed up by Miniboo towards the B site. Everybody here from Heretics, much more pointed play. Lockdown, yeah, that's what's coming. And for Vitality, that means falling back, locked out by the Viper wall, and possibly a chance with Boo picking an orb. Or no, Boo didn't pick the orb, it's Rian's picking the orb. So you've got Hunter's Fury post-plant, and possibly even a Viper's Pit for the plant. This could be a huge round.
The thing is, they can still delay. They've used Miniboo early to potentially just get rid of a lot of that utility, but even still, okay, the plant does at least go down. The thing is, they've lost players because they had to push forward. They had to take that space to stop this instant denial. Viper's Pit's going to be used, but Boo, well, he has to retreat. He has to be careful, at least for the moment, because they know exactly where he is.
This is what won the round for Vitality with just pistols. The advantage is there for Vitality at least, though. They've got 1 extra player here in the defense. They make their way through. Late play by Rian's. Hunter's Fury's available. Will it be needed? That's the question. Clearing out this pit's going to be difficult. They drop right behind him. Safe. He's gone for the top rope play, and he's picked off Woot. But 2 versus 2 with the Vipers still lurking. It's a problem. Snakebite was used earlier, and now Boo is down.
Oh,
a quick run from Rian's. He has to speed around that corner, and he can't get there in time. Double digits found for Vitality, and a big ult dump round for Heretics too. They get nothing, and the win streak continues for the defenders.
Yeah, it was just the fact that, yeah, they lose safe within that Viper's Pit. But also, I do wonder if the Hunter's Fury was just a little bit too early. Like, it's understandable. You know that your opponents are going to try and get in there as quickly as possible, so he's utilizing that, hoping that they're low. But the pit doesn't really force you to run through it. Like, you can run around that outside, you can go over the top, as we saw from Safe, and because of that, a lot of the players weren't as low as Rians was hoping them to be. And they can get on that plant quickly and then duck back out of the pit. Already, not the start they're looking for at this round, as Woot is gone, but they might be able to pressure out Safe, and
Gorgeous.
they will.
The Nano Swarm, it kept them in place. Thrown by Benji early on, they knew they wanted to fight Tube, and the success is found, at least this time. Wow. Run as fast as you want. Trex is even faster. Quick flick, and the adjustment is perfect. Down to 45 is Kicks, but a man advantage still sits towards the defenders for now. Kicks in the open. Almost had a chance. Here comes Thrash. 2 players close right in, a lot of danger. If that catches them, it's broken just in time. Flash up top. They know there's 2 there. They know where the planter is. All of the information sitting with Heretics. The spam. It's almost deadly, but a few shots whizzing past the head means Heretics at least reset. Lockdown, though, a big problem now. They can't deal with this, and they'll have to fall back, playing in the back yellow. And that's exactly what they're going to do, isn't it? They know that these players have to be in that corner. Snakebite in, shock dart in, but a small gap, and they're safe. Reveal doesn't catch them, and Heretics win out the fights. It's Benji Fishy for 2 around back yellow, and I don't know how Boo got his.
No, I think it was just that they were so focused in on the late stages of that lockdown and using that combo that he's able to swing and just kill the player who's actually defusing. They're still within that lockdown for the that's disgusting. This was wonderful though. Yeah, the combination of the stuns, but also, yeah, the Nano Swarm that just held him from being able to run away because he was already low.
13 HP.
And then, yeah, just playing actually within it. And just on the very edge so that he doesn't actually get detained at the end. Yeah, a big round.
I think if that ult is a couple pixels to the right,
millimeters,
he's caught. But the smallest of gaps that he survives in. Double digits, 10 to 10, neck and neck. We were hoping for a close game, and here on Icebox, we've gotten it. Oh, that aggression by Safe. You always got to throw in a little curveball here and there. A surprise play, but this aggression not as tempered as you'd hope. Heretics have shattered the early play, and now Vitality. They're left in a tough enough position. This map is pretty big. And whatever fight they end up taking, you better hope that they're
also been sold. Like, that's the thing. 2 players were shown over on that B site. One of them was Boo, and then Benji a little bit later, and they knew they had full yellow control. So what they've done is they've just gambled the pit. They've got to do something in this round. You're already a man down, and then they're going to send the remaining 3 players to A. It's still going to be a tough fight, but this is probably the best case scenario for Vitality in this round if they opt to go this way. If they go back through mid for some reason, this is the worst case scenario.
Yeah, but they're not. No, look, Pit's down on B. You go A. It's that simple. Maybe the mid split, but they've committed to it. Kicks down, a victim of a similar play to what he made happen in the last. Mini Boo's doubled up on the entry. And Sender, well, he's got his pit. Not anymore. It's gone now. Nowhere safe to hide. Well, he's probably better off. I think he'll be saving this weapon. I don't know how Sender feels about his chances in a 1v5. And of all the times for Heretics to wake up...
Trex, come sit on my PC.
Yeah, swap seats, swap seats. Wheel yourself over. This is the thing, though. Of all the times for Heretics to wake up, this is the worst. Vitality finally got some win in their sails. They caught up. Team Heretics have hit the NOS just in time.
They know that he's not close either. So immediately now they can start looking to try and hunt this man down. Now, the Heretics economy is nowhere near off the charts, even though these last couple of rounds have gone in their favor. The last was incredibly close, but they can afford to throw out a player or 2. Benji's the obvious choice. They even waited to let him plant so that he could get that extra orb. So in their eyes, he gets a kill. Fantastic. They drop a gun, and he's almost at the lockdown. He dies. It's the same case. He's still going to have a buy for the next round. The thing is, though, he hasn't checked the one corner the Sender was actually hiding in. So he'll be able to live to fight another day. The fact is, though, as you said, the timing of this turnaround couldn't be any better.
What? Well, Kicks has got to be fuming. I actually thought it was a closer fight than that, but it was from absolutely miles away. And after his jumping opening pick in the round before, you know, he had that coming. That's just karma manifesting right there. 11 to 10. 2 rounds needed for Heretics. They've struggled to put attack rounds up, but now it seems like they're finding the rhythm. On the defense, Credits up and down. Shaky. Bladestorm, though, is going to back them up and give Safe something to fight with. Sender, on the other hand, has got nothing, not even a point of health. Early fight for Miniboo, greatly successful. He's in for more, too.
Again, good counter util. At least they're letting them a little bit. Kicks only going to be able to find one. His teammate's been lost. In fact, he's been blindsided. Runner trying his best. He's done an awful lot of damage. Woot tag low. But look at the wraparound. Miniboo just taking that extra space and now going to go hunting. Safe is completely blind. Bladestorm in hand and he will get nothing. The last few rounds have been all Miniboo. And while they are now just one away from taking their opponent's choice and going to the fortress that is Sunset.
Sunset, even if that goes awry, if Vitality have done their homework and figured out the code to break, Vitality will still have to fight them up on
10 other teams in a row failed to do.
I will say, every win makes it harder for you to repeat, right? People are ready for how you play. They're studying those
some of the names? You want some of the names?
I bet they're all trash teams. Go ahead.
Foot, Na'Vi, 100 Thieves, Foot again, EDG, FPX, Fnatic are in there as well.
Who are any of those teams?
No, I've never heard of any of them.
They're not Vitality.
The 100 Thieves win was 13-1, by the way, just in case you were wondering.
Yes.
In fact, only Foot have managed to get to double digits.
That's a great sign, Tom. That's a great sign for Vitality.
I would say they should probably look at trying to win this map.
Yeah, that might be the call. Yeah, I'm not sure that Sunset will be where they get it done. Again, even if they do, Bind, not a bad map for Heretics either.
Six in a row on that one. I'll name those later if we get
there. Yeah, if we get it, if there's another round. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, Heretics have found their footing here on the attack. Lockdown to work with. And a very slow round. Yeah, they're waiting for Vitality to potentially go in for some aggression. But the defensive side doesn't feel the need. Stacked up on B. It's the right port to call. Question is, what's the reaction once Lockdown comes into play? Because I think that's going to be point of contact for Heretics.
Yeah, they still have plenty for the denial. So they don't necessarily need to fight this one.
No Lockdown.
Already under pressure! Oh, Miniboo's just got sliding through. At least there's a trade. Him being gone is going to be helpful. Trex, he was so impactful with this ultimate before. Has been able to deny the plant. There's only 20 seconds left. Now they have to use that lockdown. That's going to put an awkward spot because they either have to try and run across, which is what they're going to do. They're going to use their opponent's own utility, and Rians has just killed Safe straight through. Again, though, that plant's just about going to come through, and two players stuck towards this corner. Not expecting Trex to swing. Puts disadvantage back for Vitality. Another left all onto Boo, and they know exactly where he is. 15 left in the clip, and he's not even going to get to fire any of them. Runner gets 3 kills to convert another round. And they're close to taking it to OT.
12-11. Well, it felt like Heretics started to get away from them just in time. Now, still a chance, even getting rid of the lockdown in that round, thanks to these early trades. And yeah,
it was his own reveal. That's what meant that he got that kill. Without that, I will say, like, Trex at the moment might have the best Sova util in EMEA. Like, the guy is so unbelievably good at just revealing players at the perfect moment.
And it really isn't just that. Like, individually, the guy's insane as well. But on roll, he's so much fun to watch. We had this yesterday. I felt like we spent the whole game complimenting every piece of utility that he put out. And today, very much the same. 12-11. We'll need another big round from everyone in Vitality. Putting it all on the line. Heretics, those ultis aren't there to fall back on, but Thrash is there for kicks on Vitality. Drone even leading charge. That's got Thrash out of him. They know there's players up in kitchen, but it's destroyed just in time to reclaim that space and get Thrash back online. Seems to be the mission. Kicks is straight in and straight out. Dropped, but safe. Good for the double up. Maintaining the control, and now they all focus on the site. Just as the plant is coming down, I like this aggression from Heretics. Rienz goes into the spawn, and himself and Benji have claimed another safe haven to fight from. Or so they think. There is another player wrapping his way around the timing, just about missing them. The wall covering the retreat. And Sender, okay, he's got the surprise eventually, capitalizing for one, and Rienz has to fall back. He's decayed down low, and the spam gets him. It's again into the hands of Boo. He had a 1v3 on this site last time, but now the spike is planted, and one less player to take down. A difficult one, though. Sender still not spotted, and now swinging. The orb blocking out any control, and the tap there. Boo has to be worried about it. He wants to get in there, see if they're actually defusing it. It is being stuck now, halfway at least. The spam not going to stop them. They've almost got it defused, and it's Runner to land the shot that guarantees an overtime. A lifeline for Vitality as they get another shot at a map they need to win in this series.
Yeah, send the tag down to 13. It looked like it was going to be desperately close. A lot of this came down to, oh my god, Safe is an absolute maniac. I didn't know that's what he did. It's almost like, you know when you see someone do a perfect dive, like you're watching it in the Olympics? That's what he just did, right through the windows. Shots connected to bring them back into the round. And well, as said, this map seems like a necessity. The fact we're going to buy makes me think that there's a plan for Vitality. And as said, like I know we're selling a bleak story of the next map. They've looked good on it. They smashed Na'Vi on it, had a close win versus KC or another solid team. The loss to BBL is a little bit more concerning. But you can't bank on Sunset. It's not something that you can go in expecting to win. Whereas Icebox, they were expected to win. They are expected to win.
Every analyst desk, basically this stage has been about you have to ban Sunset against Heretics. A lot of teams weren't doing it. All those teams lost. And this is... Yeah, Heretics always pick it. Heretics always win it. And the only way to avoid it is to ban it. They will pull it through because they're just the best.
And that's with different players at different times, by the way.
Yes, also.
They have had multiple different times where Woot wasn't there, where Miniboo wasn't there, and Padatek was standing in, and they still won it through all of that. So it really is just something that they have a real chokehold over. Icebox, not so much. And back onto the defensive side they go. Again, a heavy stack on A. Guess what? Benji's pushed the tube. Who is surprised? And they've left a solo Boo. But again, the only goal he has here, deny that plant as long as humanly possible. Make it awkward, and well, that's exactly what he's done.
Yep, the spam has managed to drop down the spike. Even though they changed the plant position of it, Vitality find no success there. They've recovered the spike, but now they've got to wait. Viper toxins have to go back up. They have to be recharged first. Timing of this round not ideal. Instead, they're going to push forward as the toxins fall. A good opening start with Trex and Runner finding some, but Benji is dug deep. They've stopped the plant, forcing it to another position. Boo's caught one. Benji not going to deny the spike. Instead, it's Boo picking every single player apart and leaving Sender on 46. He can't even escape. He's being watched on the way back and has to win the fight. He'll close the distance, but the steps are heard. And now they've grouped up at 2 versus 1. 11 HP for Sender. It's down to the wire. A few well-placed shots could get him out of this position, but it's Boo to answer back. His 4th kill of the round here in overtime. 13-12 for Heretics.
That seems to be the battle, is how the Viper is going to defend this site. And each time, both players have been doing a fantastic job. But Boo's definitely up there at the moment. He's had the clutch within the Viper's pit. He's had this round in particular, just being able to deny them for so long, and then it gets down to like 20 seconds. And I don't mind the call from Vitality. I don't mind it. Dropping the wall, playing in front of it. You're not going to get a plant while all of those players are spamming. The problem is, again, he just has another massive round, moving himself to the top of the board. And well, Vitality once again face up against map point.
One more for Heretics, and they will certainly feel like this series is in the bag. This will be a tough task for Vitality as Heretics started to find their rhythm here on the attack. Will it carry through to overtime? After a big round from Boo, morale is certainly high on the attacking side. Nano thrown over for the turret. Mid control now up for grabs, and in the back of Vitality's mind, something they have to worry about. I believe they're watching the walk up in tube at least, but at this stage they could cross underneath. Kix has to commit himself to watching that, and it's going to limit his reactions as they see this push coming out of B-main.
This is such a gamble. Like, having Safe in this corner is a risk, and they're going to try and fight alongside him. Snake bite down, swing from Sender does well. Again, the dart reveals absolutely everything. That means they can claim some control in middle as well. Already, Runner has gone pushing. But for now, at least, it is still only that even trade with Kicks going down. Safe is still going to try and reaggress. And now they're starting the sprint back. With the reveal, there's currently not anybody on that side of the map. There is utility to slow them down. And with 30 seconds, that might just be enough.
And I think the logic might be Woot either picking the orb or just going for the plant. After finding a kill and grabbing the orb on B, Thrash should be online. Should be there to work with Runner. He's got a chance up close and some teammates coming in to back him up, but they've seen him. They know that he's here. Easy kill to start him. Woot's the one to find it. That's Thrash online for the late round. A disaster for Vitality. 2 versus 4. And getting back in is going to be tough. Made impossible perhaps by the Thrash. Safe finds one, but now detained. And all they need to do is kill Trex. All they need to do is drop that man. But he's left in a 1v1. Drone out. Caught Woot. Oh, Woot fires back. 4 kills in both OT rounds. It's Boo and Woot.
Also had the victory versus what? The victory versus Na'Vi, and it was like, don't get me wrong, they played well, but I also just feel like this is a completely different beast. Like you're not looking at a team that has like struggled on this map in the past. You're looking at a team that has been unstoppable on this map. So
and when Heretics played Navi, they 13-3'd them, right? So that's more or less telling you what you need to know about Navi Sunset compared. It's been strong for the side of Heretics. The start though isn't. They've lost Miniboo already. And a 4 versus 5 emerges, defensive side. Now starting to rotate in. Here come the numbers. Backside fight for Heretics is where they hope to turn the tides. And Benji's done well with Boo trading out. It's back to a 2 versus 2. The smoke push around. Rien's on the corner. He'll be blinded up. The paranoia's caught him. He can't see a thing, but he gets his vision back, and they haven't cleared the corner. Swapping out to the Ghost, and it's himself and Boo. A contact play with a smoke that has to be walked through. They both swing and clean it up. What a reverse by Heretics as they come out ahead.
Yeah, no, it seemed like Vitality, especially in the initial fights and also setup, just with their 2 players swinging, having that crossfire. It seemed like it was going to work out for them, but eventually it was just those effective trades back. Again, I think the Boo always seems to have a big part to play in a lot of these rounds. And while I was going to say Vitality had a lot of success of getting those early rounds under their belt when it came to Na'Vi, I do, again, think that's more of a Na'Vi being very poor in their early rounds, so I don't think you can have the same expectation. For now, though,
whoops,
we're going to see the 3 rifles, but they've given Miniboo a Spectre to play with. Maybe want him to farm up some orbs, but also he's looking for close contact fights anyway, so it's not going to be too much of a surprise. For Vitality, a little bit of an investment onto Safe. Other than that, it is just the classics.
Not the easiest of buys to make it work. The numbers advantages can maybe help you out, but take a look at how Vitality are set up. Cam watching B, and players spread across. It's going to be information to hopefully crunch on a player later on. And the question in these rounds is often how much damage can be done. And Heretics, I think they were the team, right? In the last map, they played a very light second round. This time, definitely not light. The 3 rifles and an SMG. It's only one player that they can afford to lose without starting to take losses into account, without reinvestments in the next round. For Vitality, at least there's some hope there then that they can make this costly.
Yeah, I almost think they need to, because coming in with those 3 rifles, Rien's will, well, sorry, Benji will almost definitely buy up
30 seconds left.
another one. The information's already there, and that's the thing. I feel like a lot of what the job is here from Miniboo is just to try and block them out the reveal. Well, we've been highlighting them coming out of Trex. That's going to give a few assists over, and even a kill for Rien's. And Andaluthia flawless to get their second round done. I think similarly to what we saw last time, just keeping things so clean.
Kind of highway robbery, actually. I feel like that recon should have gotten all the assists. That's why everybody comes over to take the fight.
I think Miniboo might have put a stun in or did some damage, so he actually stole one of them.
Ridiculous. It should have been a shared effort. Look, this is why everyone comes through to fight, because they saw them all.
Yeah, let's see.
Somehow.
He gets the assist because he did more damage.
Yeah, give him 2 assists. Double it up. And Woot did it all by himself, apparently. I mean, just underrated are the recons. Statistically robbed, but we know in our heart 4 assists on the board. 2-0. Team Heretics with a good start, but Vitality have bought up rifles. Again, the problem, based on losing nobody last round, is that there is a plethora of rifles available for Team Heretics. And like you said, Tom, Benji, upgrades from the pistol to the rifle. A little bit of investment, but they had the cash to do it. And now that's some problems starting to brew on the side of Vitality.
Miniboo is just going to be a sacrifice. Like they're absolutely fine with that. Saying that, Rien's is the first one in. I was expecting to see Miniboo sprinting in, but in fact, never mind. I guess you don't need to sacrifice him if Rien's is just going to shoot the trip, get an opening kill, and then Miniboo's like, right guys, I'm running in now. I'm running in and taking the site now.
And that was almost or maybe it was 100 damage shock dart that went through. So decent, punishing the planter and the person, the bodyguard, providing that cover up close. Maybe that's going to help when it comes to the spam battles, because make no mistake, this is Sunset. This is the team we saw do this most consistently. Post plant setup, narrow laneway where only half of the spike base is available for the defuse. You have to fight into main through the smoke. The flashes help, and Sender's doubled up, so is Safe. They're right on it. Miniboo round the back though has denied the defuse. He's bought himself a little bit more time. 2 players to take down, a weak weapon to do it with. The spam is good for 1, and the time quite low. It's gonna be down to the wire, but 0.28 of a second, just enough for Vitality to claim the round.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be over the moon with that one. The fact that Miniboo, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody run all the way around the flank. I think he was probably not expecting to even have to play a part in this round with how solid those post plants normally are. But again, it's just, well, the TP through is fantastic. Nice. Sender doing work alongside Safe. That's what turned the round. But the fact that Miniboo, well, 0.28, he survives even a split second longer.
Bro, I don't know.
And that one gets over the line. 2 to 1, an immediate purchase. And look at Trex. Well, even Runner and Kicks have pieces missing as well.
Yeah, that's one of those rounds that tests your ability to observe this game. My God, the crunch through the smoke, all the utility thrown. And you can see the chaos. That was what enabled Sander to get behind them. So many sound cues, you can't really hear the Shrouded Step that clearly. It's 2 to 1 for Team Heretics. Despite the fact that they had rifles in the last, they're still able to buy up here, thanks to it being that bonus. And like you said, Vitality might not be over the moon. They've had to invest a lot even then. Trex is down to a Stinger, a Bulldog in play for Runner, a Guardian for Kicks as well. There's a lot of weaknesses for what is normally a round that we see in a neck-and-neck engagement. Heretics with the upper hand to start, at least. On the attack side, they're the ones that have to find space. They have done so in middle a little bit and poked and prodded up on A, but yet to see the aggression that they're hoping to find out of the side of Vitality.
Safe timing here is going to be everything. Ends up peaking a firing squad as Miniboo reveals himself, and then Woot and Rian's alongside it. Now the time is ticking. 25 seconds to make their move. A lot of counter utility thrown in to try and slow them down as much as possible. Kicks has done well. 18 seconds now. That clock continues to tick, and Runner's trying to come in from behind. The spike yet to make it to the site, and they need to deal with Sender. They don't even know where he is. He's just going to try and jump down and potentially deny the plant, which he's not quite going to be able to do around the corner. The sprint comes in, though, and Trex has done fantastic. Just doing work with the Stinger. Boo, still here. Doesn't connect that shot, and I feel like that might be the round over. Any further chance they know exactly where he is. The spam up to Trex has done well. They're still yet to get this anywhere near half, but he's so desperately low on HP that this just doesn't seem to be possible. Well, a little bit shaky in the end for Runner, but the job is done.
I like the way he fakes the steps, takes a shot on one side and then transitions to the other. A nice attempt by Boo, but yeah, the fact that he got spammed down by Runner earlier to 30 really doesn't help him out. They're keen to just jump around, classic in hand. It comes close, but not quite close enough. And after opening pick and the way they punish this was a fantastic flash, and only able to capitalize on one because of how quick Miniboo is swinging around that corner. But they had it locked in from this play. The Stinger on the site. It wasn't quite able to deny. And look, if he was there half a second earlier, he probably wins the round on time, drops the spike, and there's no chance for them to plant it with a couple seconds left.
But the bigger thing as well is just that they'd cut off every avenue, that the players on Heretics were all tunnel visioned into defending the plant. Like, they didn't know what space was clear or what was a problem. Still, though, there is going to be a purchase available. Oh, the Outlaw hasn't connected.
Those are all light shields.
And there is going to be pressure now placed, an immediate rotation from Sender to get him in to support. But the fact is, an elevated spot for Boo, and Miniboo now finding another. Well, that rotation was needed as he's the only one left.
They put every credit on the line on the attack side, and here's the reward. 5 versus 3 post plant. Miniboo low, everyone else in fighting condition. And the Outlaw already out of the round, which was a big threat for 4 players who came in on light shields, who took the initial fight against it as well. It was a blindside for Vitality, and Boo up top, able to pick off Safe, assist on the kill to Sender, and leave. Kick sending it to the other side of the map. It's time to save that weapon, as the 1 versus 4 isn't looking likely. Great response from Team Heretics here on Sunset. The lead will stay in their hands.
Yeah, this was a really big round from them. Again, it's just the sneaky spot above that actually ended up being the undoing. Boo just taking the initiative, finding a kill, and then the immediate response. This is the thing I love about this team. Like, you can always make the jokes about the synergy of brothers, but the fact that the second he takes that fight, Miniboo knows, okay, right side clear, I'm going straight to the other side. I'm peeking it to make sure that nobody can get a trade, even if they wanted to. And it just makes it impossible for anybody to really do anything. Again, the setup of Util was fantastic, and from then onwards, it's just easy pickings for the rest of the team. And the problem now is that even with the rounds that have gone their way, it's been so desperately close that Vitality have built up no economy. They have a singular rifle available to be bought into this round. The rest is going to be stingers, and while the ult available for save.
Nice, ton of info for the players outside of B. I wonder if that gets a push out of Vitality on A. For a moment, it looked like they were toying with it with Safe up close. With kicks, 2 flashes ready to pop outside of A main, even a danger sign going through. I feel like we might see that play come in. But ultimately, they're hoping for contact first so they can use the paranoia and then pounce. In fact, look at Team Heretics. They're coming towards this play. I mean, this is going to be absolutely perfect. Paranoia goes down, Safe swings out, lightning fast. It just depends. Yeah, he's still going to be in position. And the player's spotting at his kick. So look how deep they'll be by the time the Paranoia comes in. There's nowhere to go.
The only thing will be the drone. If they can clear any of these players, that I think they may have spotted a pixel at least onto kicks, but the rest is still completely unrevealed. But even that alone is enough for them to fall off. My only worry is the Heretics going into the same problem they had the last time they were against a lower weapon buy. It's just the time. They're down to 40 seconds. They're only just starting to clear out mid, and the rest of the players are incredibly passive, even back towards the spawn. If the timing is right, they could slow them down, but instead, it looks like Runner is going to have the main crux of the job.
Hoping that someone runs into the trip, probably his best chance. Up close here, Sender had an opportunity, catching Miniboo jumping. Hunter's Fury goes through, catches Benji. Runner and kicks, up for one, Safe Salt grabs it, and it's down to Woot. Indeed, the time seems to be a bit of an issue, but more so than that is the lack of players left on the attack. Woot looking to save, grabbing an orb and getting out of here with his ult online for the next, and that'll be all they get. 3-3. A resounding response from a low buy out of Vitality.
Yeah, I think the second that contact is made, they immediately start their rotation. Like, you see 2 players going back, just holding on to that control elsewhere, just to make sure if it's a fake to pump back in, and then just good utility usage. Again, we talk about this Hunter's Fury, high impact every single time it's in play. And this team also just seems to be sublimely good with these weaker weapons, with the Stinger, in every single scenario. 3-3. A few big rounds won by, again, weaker weaponry, weaker plays, but there's another purchase for Heretics, and they still have nearly all their ults.
And the reason the time is such a big issue there is you're not going to use that Hunter's Fury if there's a minute left on the clock. They can just avoid it, go back, or reset for another push later. Play the time. You can't play the time with 20 seconds left. You know they're committing. You know they're coming out of that choke point, and, well, there's not a lot of space for them to go once that Hunter's Fury fires up. And even then, you've got 3 or 4 teammates ready to fight on the back of it too. So crowd controlling them, pushing them out of position, and just causing chaos in the ranks of Heretics. Very successful round. Back with the rifles here are Vitality, but the same can be said for the attackers. Just one Bulldog that shows as a weakness. 2 big ults on Rienz and Woot. Same can be said for Kicks on the side for Vitality on the defense. Initial fight. Well, the drone will be the same contact as before. I think there's going to be no choice but for Safe to break it and fall back. This time, though, Heretics are committing.
Oh yeah, the knife has also got them that extra information that they needed. Counter flash. There is another if they wanted to try and put Safe into position. Definitely seems like he's thought about it, but with 3 players still on the other side of the map, it would have to be a pretty big play. Utility removed, straight in, and Safe has just popped every single head. He's taken down Woot. He's the only one still, well, not standing, but surviving. But the rest of them have just been obliterated. 20 seconds left as the spike hits the deck, and well, honestly, the rest are just going to run away. Not even up to try and face this man in that kind of form.
Well, I have to say, Vitality's protocols on the defense have been looking very good so far. Heretics pushing through a number of times, not finding the contact they're looking for. The setups have been scary enough that they don't want to commit. Think of last round when they spot a player in the elbow. It's a KO. You know the flash is coming. And here, well, they're able to cascade in with what is one of the wildest individual plays I've seen. The fact he finds the first, the smoke blooms, and he still manages to convert the second kill, steps out of it for the third, and the timing on his teammate's smoke, absolutely perfect there too.
Yeah, this was wonderful. And in a lot of cases, you're not going to get away with that versus a team like Heretics. They're normally so good with the trades. They basically had the plan to use Woot as bait and then just get him back up because they were confident.
It's them looking for solutions. And it's rare to see a team make Heretics do that here on Sunset.
Oh, the buy. Maybe more than expected. Either way, we've got them building up over onto that B site.
Cage triggered.
There's going to be utility available to try and slow them down. I feel like Runner has done a good job of consistently swapping the trips just to try and make things that little bit more awkward for them on the entry. Now the weaponry, as said, intriguing. It's a little bit more than maybe expected, but with a Hunter's Fury on re-ends, they might just use that to try and target an opener.
Paranoia's good. No response from Vitality. Most of these players blocked out. Now they got the vision back, ready to go for the fight. Nice stuff for Safe again. Always finding his multi-kills. And now left to Rian's to pick up the pieces. The 3K that's needed. The Paranoia's caught him completely. But he's safe. They don't think that he's already out. They haven't checked the corner. Maybe a chance for the Viper to strike.
Oh.
Immediately shut down by Trex. 5 on the board for Vitality coming off the pause. Heretics still haven't found the solution.
No, and again, it seems like right place, right time. A lot of it, solid utility to make a lot of these fights easier. Certain gaps held by the trips as well that they just can't get past. And I feel like in most cases, there's been 3+ players in position, ready and waiting. 5 of the last 6 rounds now. Only the pistol and second round is where we've seen Heretics streak anything together. Vitality, as we know, the story here is if they manage to win this series, they are champions. They will actually eliminate KC from contention, the team that looked to qualify on the points. For now though, well, we've seen them get into the site. They've got lots of ultimates available. Can they hold on this time?
Good shot, great damage. It makes it easy for Runner to follow up onto Woot. He was down to 17 HP. Hunter's Fury, though, fired out in response. And it's got a double connection. Kicks and Trex out of the round. Heretics with the advantage. This is what they've been looking for, but they still have to convert the round. Good trade by Boo. Keeps the favor in their hands. The tap is about to go through. Runner waiting for the spams, wants to strike as they go for the reloads. Perhaps spam back at some of these shots at the tracers, but nothing's landing. The time stalling out. Nice shot. Okay, Safe finds one. The spams in the other direction are where the real success is found, halfway already. And then Safe goes down. That might be the round done. Runner needs kills, needs them fast, and in fact, I think the time is already gone. He's out of here one way or another. 5-4 Heretics. They found their solution. They've got to do a little more than that.
Yeah, much more direct approach once again. I think after the last round, like getting close, maybe expecting that their opponents wouldn't be able to do that again, but even still, Vitality have done a fantastic job of basically making every single one of the plants so incredibly costly that it does give them an advantage in most of these cases. Another issue for the other side now is you have won a round after, and you basically reset any loss bonus you had, but also you lost every single player. So financially, Heretics is still in the bin.
Ration for Boo on the back of the flash, but unfortunately Sender can see clearly now. Never mind, he's gone. Trex able only for one. The numbers neck and neck with the space taken by Miniboo. They will quickly be taking it to the A site for the plant. Post-plant setup, rifle retrieved as well by Miniboo, so he's armed to the teeth. He doesn't need to use the finger guns in his next fight. A very good start for Heretics. Vitality grouped up as 3 for the retake. This is going to be a big test for them. They've got an ult on Runner to try to find these players, but they haven't got any bodies close by to land that information to throw the hat at. The problem is this 2-man push around the side, perfectly timed as Kicks wanted to drop.
And now revealed at the backside as well. Rian still holding. Stun out. It's going to be the fight won by Safe though. Putting things back into a 2 versus 2 scenario. Shock Dart's doing a little bit of chip damage, but even still, they get on this defuse. Safe is guarding it, and now already at half. Rienz needs both kills. He's gonna deny the person actually defusing. That might just be enough, but again, just within. millisecond, Vitality will get that defuse through. Confident, it seems, as they at least have equalized at the half, but more importantly, look to head in with a lead.
Less than half a second in it twice. That is a narrow margin, to say the least, but for Vitality, the lifeline they needed. A sloppy round to start with.
Enemy
3
remaining.
versus 3. The swing around on short, I thought, sealed their fate. But again, it's a player like Safe. He just can't go out of these rounds without a multi-kill. 12 on the board so far. And a big reason Vitality are able to put so many of these rounds on the board. Okay, same play, same plan, just with weaker weapons from Heretics. Early flash, early aggression as they cross over. Safe is picking them off. The kills going their way pretty convincingly. Maybe Sender can be isolated up close. It seems like Kicks is a little further behind, and he's naded out as well. They tried to knife him? Well, that's one way to do it. 7-4.
I think Wu must have run out of ammo. Otherwise, that really is an insane play to attempt when you're down. 7-4. Again, I think you're talking about Gentlemates getting 7 rounds total, Foot getting 10 rounds, Fnatic getting 7, and every other one managing less than that. So this is already an impressive performance, but it doesn't feel like this is a scenario where Heretics are going to turn this around. Right now, Vitality have been firmly within the driver's seat. It's only been individual rounds where barely anyone survived or the spike's gone off. And that's even with the pistol under the belt of Heretics. Vitality are putting up one hell of a fight. And well, at this stage, I wouldn't be surprised if they go in with an 8-4 half.
They might need it too. You know, I was looking back. Heretics' defensive side was 11-1 up against 100 Thieves and up against Na'Vi. Although it's been manageable. I think like Foot also got like 9-3, but the second time they played them, it was a much closer first half, 6-6. Either way, I certainly expect a lot of rounds out of this attacking side when they swap over, and they've started out this one with an opening pick. Sender down, A site under threat, and Vitality have to rotate in. Look, 2 players towards that side of the map. Heretics know that. The space will have to be filled back in. They're going to try to capitalize by finding a gap on B. I don't know there is a gap there, though.
Already with a bit of an early rotation.
Cage trigger.
Safe in there. Already Hunter's Fury being used and actually catches a kill. Catches Runner with a tag. 30 HP trying to fight this one, but he's not going to be able to. And Safe's ultimate is shut down immediately. It's left on to Kicks. The fragment not quite going to reach. And he's used the ultimate. But at this point, all it's really going to do is remove those counter abilities. Doesn't have to smoke, can't force them into any awkward fights. And you can see that Boo's only plan is to just try and continuously jump peek. You could take away his smokes, you could take away whatever abilities he has, but at this point, he's just working as bait, just working to try and frustrate Kicks in these latter round scenarios. Everybody else is not even giving him an inch, not peeking at all, and Boo will be rewarded with the final frag. 7-5, still a very solid half for Vitality.
I'd love to see Boo's comms just for the last 30 seconds. Not peeking? Or not diffusing? Not diffusing?
I just hope
Not
he's
diffusing?
making sounds, just going whoop, oh,
I hope it's a little more clear
and
than
then
that.
the other guys on the team go, what does that
Should we
mean?
peek? Should we not? What's happening? Let's go! Check your mini-map, man. Come on, get the info that way. 7-5. Altogether, it's a very good half for Vitality. Considering the metrics we had coming in, I didn't expect to
And
see
they
them
lost
hit
pistol.
7. Actually, yes, I hadn't even thought of that. 7 rounds losing the pistol against Heretics? Huge. But have Heretics recovered enough now? 5 rounds, defensive side, and this is usually where they thrive.
Well, this is the thing that makes me a little nervous still, is that Benji's had a rough game so far, but for me, he is the B-site defender on this map. Like, best in the world. I think he's so good at holding on to that control. And for that might be the reason that Vitality have gone straight towards the A-site. Already, though, being delayed by the smokes, I have a feeling they're going to play through them, but it has allowed for everybody, bar Benji, to already rotate into position.
Planet coming in, way out in the open. Very easy to defend for Vitality as long as they've got the numbers online. Curious to see if they decide to stay with 3 players on the site. instead of falling back to the choke points. Looks like they want to make this costly. Fighting forward, flashes deterred them for a moment, but Safe is still peeking periodically. Nade goes down, but they're already in. The spin through by Miniboo. It's messy, but he gets there eventually. Safe now stepping up. That's his double already. That's a triple out of Safe. He's reloaded for more, looking for the ace, and he'll find it! Safe steps up yet again, and Vitality's lead's extended.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get a week without a safe ace. Other times you get multiple in the series. This guy really is just the pinnacle of individual ability. They're just isolating fight after fight, having time to reload, and it seems like he's almost just dodging bullets in the moment. An important pistol for Vitality to get off to a strong start. 2 orbs away from having the overdrive, but I don't think that's going to matter. The man already has himself a Vandal and is looking to brawl.
It's gonna put some wind in the sails. 2 pistols now for Vitality. Lead secured at the half. Now doubled down on. Still some dangers, even with the pistols for Heretics. You gotta take every round, one at a time. But a big opportunity for the attacking side now to put some distance between them and that defensive side. My worry, the spike was there, 3 players, and well, any moment we might have seen them blitz through that choke point into the waiting arms of 4 Heretics players. But the fact that we do see Runner and Sender on the other side of the map means the door and the trap outside A, the door is still open for them to take it back.
The thing that makes me nervous is a lot of the time you're going to see smokes placed down on the side of the map that you're not holding. Knife goes in, already gets 2. Now you know that the Cypher's likely going to be here.
They destroyed both traps.
And already finding the fact that 2 other players are here, that's way too much of a stack up at a minimum. Gonna walk back into Boo. He's one of the only players that's invested. A nice shot to start. That's Sender already gone, but he doesn't manage to retreat. And this leaves the rest of the site open. If he gets away, maybe there's a hope in hell they win this round, but from this point onwards, no chance.
I think it's great because if you look at the economy start of the round in game, they're gonna see that Benji doesn't have a lot of cash. Both traps on B, both destroyed. If there's a stack, you're probably guessing it's there. So they decided to take it to the other side of the map. Very smart. And now the advantage is clear. Miniboo denied any big plays. Nice shots out of Trex. Even nicer out of kicks. 9-5 locked in. And that's a great mid-round call coming out of the side of Vitality.
Well, we could be seeing the first defeat in 10 matches or 10 maps for Heretics when it comes to Sunset. They have been unstoppable. Bind is much of the same, which will be the 3rd map if we go there, but Vitality have proven that they can brawl at any moment. They can fight with the best of them. They said in the interview yesterday, Safe said he was confident. And for them, Champions is on the line. A win here would do enough. That's all they need. The rest of the tournament, they could go for the trophy. He could try and win another one here in EMEA. Last year doing it with Liquid. The thing is though, there's still a way to go. And he's already taken a hell of a lot of damage. And Benji's just gonna wipe them out.
He's run out of ammo. That's the only way to stop him in this round. Vitality. Oh, they've done so much damage. Rienz and Woot super low. This could be a much more doable situation. A bite-sized one that almost ended up coming through. That kill from Runner landed a few more bullets to Benji, and this is a very tough round.
Okay.
He's got another. Well, the wall bangs are off the charts so far, but Trek still has 3 to take down. And sure, Benji was softened up by Runner. There'll be a few more targets firing back at him. Smoke blocking off his side. The span gives it away. Benji's up close, ready for the fight and landing it. That's 4 kills out of the Cypher, and Tom starting to understand why you praise this man's B-side hold.
Hey, the guy, I think he was 4 and 9 in the first half. He got 4 kills in that round. But he really is, it just feels like this is the site that he was born to play. Like, you put him here, you give him his trips, you give him his utility, and he just has the time of his life. But it just, well, sure, you're going to have ridiculous aim to go with it, but we knew that Benji had that in his lock already. Still, made a little bit more competitive than expected, I think, with the fact that those early kills just didn't go anywhere near their direction. Now Vitality look to buy back up. And well, in terms of ultimates, again, things are firmly in their favor.
3 rounds between them. Vitality to have made this competitive, and if they feel it slip away, that will be a heartbreaking way to lose it. Especially for a player like Safe, at least in the last round, he was with 20-9, maybe 20-10 now.
I'm out of here.
Been popping off. He said he's looking for another trophy. He might deserve an MVP trophy after this season. Some of the games he's been putting through are unbelievable. Trap destroyed, avenue open, straight to the site, and we could have seen Safe in another reality going head-to-head with Miniboo in that fight, in that duel. Instead, he is just causing a bit of chaos, making some noise. He'll go and rejoin his teammates who are stacked up for the A hit. Knife's got to be on. Oh, it's online for Woot now. It should only be a matter of time before that's thrown in to check A main.
The wire right now is it is seemingly quite open. That caught, I think, a minimum of three, maybe four players. That's way too much info to have and not react off it, but for now at least they haven't. Orb's going to be taken, drones being sent in, and in fact all the utilities going to be removed. This looks like a guaranteed post-plant. It's actually got worse as well because Runner, his lurk through middle has been fantastic, and that's someone they may have to think about dealing with. Instead though, just going to opt to try and rotate and take this one 4v5.
Well, yeah, their back is open. There could easily be a walk straight through. You've got the camera, though, popped up as soon as the abilities come back online. They know now back is clear. Paranoia from center might even come in a little bit late around the back already. Is Miniboo, he's good for one up top, but Safe steps up to the plate yet again. A double from this man, shutting down the retake and putting double digits on the board for Vitality. They are now within reaching distance of taking Sunset off Heretics. A map we have not told, not asked, but begged teams to ban against this squad. If there's one rule, don't play this squad on Sunset. And here they are, maybe about to take the victory at long last.
Definitely showing they are a team to fear, and maybe a team that deserves to be heading their way to Seoul, but as said, there is a long, long way to go before they get that accolade, before they get that achievement. Bear in mind, Vitality as an organization have never achieved that goal. Sure, Safe has. For the rest of the players and for the organization, it would be such a huge achievement, especially with the changes that they made, mass role changes. For now, it's not going to be much of an investment. Miniboo has a hero rifle and he is sprinting his way back to this side of the map. For the rest, under pressure, and Rien's already dealt with.
Damage dealt to Benji Fishy down to a sliver of health. Miniboo really is going to have to be the hero, and he's dead after just one put in the dirt, with Safe stepping up for another double. I mean, this guy, he has as many multi-kills as there are rounds almost at this point. Benji Fishy's left alone after being tagged up early. I don't think this 1v4 is going to go his way. Certainly be adding it to the history books if it does. 11-6, 2 away for Vitality. Closer and closer. Heretics have got to be feeling the heat.
Yeah, and right now it is just looking like every time they win a round, it's more of a blip, like be it an individual stepping up. Like we haven't seen those same sort of structured retakes. I think that Vitality have done an incredible job of just either ending the round before they can even get to a retake, or just being so aggressive in their post plants, not allowing for the trophy cabinet. I don't think they're going to want to let this one slip.
No, I don't think that's part of the game plan here today. The streak of rounds required, even just to land them in an overtime situation. Early on, Knife has actually managed to catch Benji Fishy. Util wide in the open with Rien's caught out by Safe. Well, that is not the start that you want. If you're on the side of Team Heretics, Vitality, man advantage to work with. Hunter's Fury online as well for later on in the round if they get the plant down. And they're on their way towards the side of the map that's left a little bit lighter by the defense.
That's the thing, that operator was just in play because they'd been dry swinging that. They'd been taking those fights. He's even holding it and just peeks in for a second, maybe expecting a flash or something to come through. And that's enough to give Safe the angle. And the guy just has not been missing so far today. You talk about the close victory they had versus KC. He had 31 kills. I think if there's enough rounds, he'll beat that. And while you could already see Boo looking to try and flee, he's going to hit the shot this time.
Oh, they saw him and almost got him with the second. 45 HP, but he's just about able to survive. Rotation, though, from Vitality. They've got all the space they could possibly desire. walking straight into the B site with Runner, and the rest of the squad is on their way to reunite. This will be a plant secured and possibly a very advanced position coming out of Runner. The cam, I don't think, has seen him at any stage. So for him to be right up in their spawn might be unexpected. In fact, it is, but they've spotted him just in time. Cage to cover his retreat. The plan secured at least, but he's not out just yet. Hot on his heels was Miniboo. The trades are good with Vitality coming ahead, but Benji Fishy, he steps up. Ult used now for the information, and they could potentially manage to isolate the fight in towards Kicks. He doesn't know that there's a player watching him from the side. The defuse tapped should draw him into the open. The paranoia, though, gives it away. Kicks popping the flash of his own. Player up top, but Boo doesn't know where he's gone. And Kicks found him in time. With no defuse underway, the pressure's off Vitality. They just need to run the clock down on Benji, who is sticking it. Okay, there we go. The swing is found, and so is the round.
I thought that the reveal might be enough because there was such a late lurk coming from Kicks. His whole plan actually helped isolate the fact that there was nobody going to be coming in through those doors because he knew that no one had gone back through mid. They'd all gone through top mid. And so you see Runner aggressively playing there. You see, I think it was a push forward maybe by Trex initially, just to make sure that all those players coming from the defender's spawn are going to have the same problems getting out of there. Oh, it's actually Sender. There you go. Just aggressively placed. And then from then onwards, this fight was everything. The pop flash he throws after getting blind, just to make sure that if he gets swung, his opponent's also blind. And well, the pace is not being slowed by any stretch. You'd almost think this was a replay. It is Boo just being forced back once again.
Well, a little bit healthier this time, at least. No Hunter's Fury chasing him. The trap placed sneakily inside the cage. Nice space taken. Sight stairs, and it's Boo firing back this time. He's got Kicks. Spike down, that gives them the information. Shock darts through for up close. That is going to be the trap destroyed at least. Team Heretics with the advantage on the retake. 6 rounds in a row needed.
If he sticks this, he's dead. Oh, he should be dead. Miniboo was waiting for someone to try and make a play from behind, and the aggressive spot from Safe hasn't worked either. A round looking almost guaranteed, unless Trex and now just Runner have anything to say about it. The swing through, the timing not bad, but too many targets, too many players. Finally, Heretics have found a gap in the armor, a break from what has been a slaughter in the second half, but Mitch, they need 5 in a row.
Yeah, you better hope you can repeat this one. Not gonna be quite as easy.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And a lot of this is gambles, not just the TP from Sender, but this play as well from Safe, just dry swinging around. I feel like this is a round that Vitality won't be thrilled about. It's not about the fact that they lost it. Obviously, the result they're never going to be happy about, but the way that they lost it here. Still, this is, I think, just a manifestation of the fact that they have a 6-round lead, or had 6 chances to close this out. Now down to 5. Economy put in from Vitality. Ults aren't really there. Kicks might at least have his, but I'll tell you what, Safe certainly won't. He is shredded right at the start, and with Hunter's Fury fired in by Rian's. Oh, just about misses the follow-up on Kicks. Well, that's at least a lifeline for Vitality. A 4v5. It could have been 3.
To be honest, the way that Safe's been playing, I almost feel like this whole game has been a 6v5, so removing him feels like 2 players dropped to the deck. Confidence boost potentially. Woot holding the angle. As I said, he's not been having the best of times, but we'll get out of there with his life. Forcing him back though, and again, just look at the stack up already from Heretics. 4 players potentially about to fight into middle. Information's only going to give 1 away. And Trex, if he faces here, he's going to have a very nasty surprise.
The spams are decent. The wallbangs almost dropped them. Miniboo stepping up for his 3rd kill in the round. And with Boo onto Runner, it's Trex left alone. A little bit far away from the action. No abilities to be used. Woot low. Boo tagged a little bit, tickled up, but...
30 seconds left.
Oh, if he fired that through, he could have landed it straight onto Woot, eliminated a player. Oh, it would have been nice. But with 20 seconds left, he's going to wait for the smoke to fade and see if he can catch a player off guard. He might have a chance, but just about misses the timing. Shock dart, he hears the player jumping on the back. Shock's fired through, it's not got the kill. In fact, I don't think it even did damage. That time, just about. Woot misses the jump, but 15 HP, it's enough to keep him alive, to keep being a problem. By the looks of it, there'll be no
It's
chance.
on him.
He's been hit by the reveal. If only that was the shock dart. Either way, Trex follows it up with the kill, but certainly not the round. Time is gone. And 4 more chances now for Vitality to close out a map that nobody else has managed.
That's the thing. You know your utility's accurate when you can stick it to the legs of a player trying to move. This initial kill was disgusting. And I like the fact that even though Heretics have really struggled, the second half, up until the last couple, was just a singular round, the bonus that they were able to win. They're still not shying away from these aggressive plays, these plays that take control away. And I think that's the style we're used to seeing from them. Again, it looks like they have a contact play already in position. The pop flash immediately, and again, it's Safe that's gone.
Big kill. Like we said, guys just get, he either gets picked at the start or finds 2 to 3 kills. Or an ace. Every single round.
I was about to say, 2 or 3 is an understatement.
Yeah, exactly. His baseline is just so far above everyone else's. But they've lost him. A man down. Team Heretics, well, it was 6 in a row. Now it's 4. And with this, you might be able to guess, it's 3. Will be a huge position to be in, just cutting that task down in half. And for Vitality, again, they're a victim of what we saw over on Icebox, of running headfirst into a brick wall time and time again. Heretics also showing so much patience, Tom. After finding that opening pick, they don't want anything to do with any of these opening fights. They'll let the side of Vitality burn their utility, clear corners, and burn that clock down to the last few seconds before they ever even intend to take a fight.
But this is the thing, Boo has been playing towards the spawn most of the rounds, mainly because of the way that Vitality have been attempting to plant. It's always a wrap round elbow, they run across, and then he's just trying to spam through it. And a lot of the time he's been able to get a kill. This time, he's stuck on the elevated angle, but they're ready for it. They're prepared for him to be there. Even still, Afterplant is going to be coming in. And even though they're a man down, we've seen them fight back from this before.
Well, Kix pops his ult, albeit possibly a little early. Heretics were only just making it here. Was used around now, run down a little bit more time. It's got all the players. Benji Fishy's traps are down, so he's got to cover flank in case someone's walking up, and it does definitely slow them. Put more pressure on from the clock. I like the sneaky position held by Trex. He should get so much value. They take the initial fight, then fall back, leave him, but he goes early, goes in for the fight and gets dropped for his trouble. Gorgeous play by Heretics. They lose the first player, and there's not a single flaw to point at since then. I do think also for Trex, it makes sense that he goes for the fight. If he stays took, someone looks down.
Yeah,
it's the freest kill of their life, but unfortunate that he got nothing for it.
Yeah, it seems like, again, this whole round for Heretics, they get the opener, and then it just comes down to patience. Like, Minibu on these picks, like, the supportive utility has been sublime. And then from then onwards, as I said, they're just so good at just working out these trades. Like, this is what we've witnessed from this team time and time again. Vitality, I honestly think their success rate doable.
And for Vitality, well, they'll at least have credits flooding in every round. But you can see, even still, light shields and a Guardian, there's weaknesses there.
Immediately. You have the peek on A and the peek on B. Like, they are looking to try and take this control. Boo grabs the orb just for denial. Didn't even need it for his ultimate, but just wants to make sure they're unable to collect theirs. Again, we're gonna have Safe making point of call. I'm just looking at the fact there's 3 players currently at the back of site, waiting, maybe even trying to bait them into taking that control, going for the plant and just denying it. Instead, they're running all the way back to the other side of the map where it seems like Boo will be the pressure point.
Well, that's the drone just clearing out all the space. You know, the early plan, evidently, from Vitality was go B main, destroy the traps. We had a shock dart close. You saw some players spamming the wall on the left side to try and destroy it. Now they move back to the A site. But because Heretics, they spend a little time waiting for that late blitz out of B. They definitely suspect Vitality to be sending a bit of a fake towards the A site. That's the wrong read, as we can see. And the space conceded by Boo is most likely just going to be fully given up. I don't think he fights this, and we'll again see a retake on the A site, late round lurk from Runner.
They're trying to switch things up. It's been Vitality always taking that elbow control. This time they've avoided it, and for that part, they're going to be able to avoid Boo, who's always been finding them those openers. There's also a massively late lurk from Runner that they're still trying to deal with. Even just the time that he's buying them is going to cause issues, but he's taking a kill as well. That's Rien's gone. Reveal's gone, causing them issues. And now look at the aggressive post plant that we have. Checking that flank right up in the face is going to be safe. They might not expect this.
Well, it's the flash from Kix. Oh, there's no flash from Kix. It hasn't come through. In fact, they're just dry peeking it. It's Miniboo to take the opening. Safe. Only good for one. It's a rare occasion with Kicks having to clutch it out. 1 versus 2 and shot in the side by Benji through the smoke. It came close. The Vitality not able to get this one across the line. Great early round play, but Heretics again clean in the retake.
Yeah, I think Runner did a fantastic job just to be as disruptive as possible. Allow them to basically get any post plant they wanted. They could have played that from absolutely anywhere. It just looked a little bit disjointed towards the end. Like, initially Safe was holding, I think, alongside Sender up above. And then moments later just decided to switch his position. The support of Util just wasn't quite timed correctly. And that's where they just get picked apart. It was close. It was incredibly close. But close doesn't win anything. And now just 2 rounds away from Heretics taking them to OT again.
Yeah, I thought I saw Kicks queuing up a little flash to fight straight towards those spawn players, but he definitely did his part with the double kills. They made their way in. Again, though, not enough. A narrow margin. This time it swings to Heretics. Remember, 2 of the rounds, Vitality. What the hell is that?
There.
As soon as the cam's broken, Miniboo's waiting to spam through a smoke on top mid to catch Runner falling back. I mean, this is the problem. He's been lurking around mid in a couple of these rounds, but I don't think it's that much of a pattern. What a response by Miniboo. That's got to be frustrating.
They're now going to get the information as well. Again, trying to bait things out. It's pulled a rotation. In fact, it's pulled a couple. It hasn't actually got them over towards that A site just yet. In fact, now it does.
Drone.
Seemingly, the ruse has been sold. Benji's the only man still standing. The knife's going to go in, and immediately that will pull Woot back to this side of the map.
Well, the cam spotted at least 3. A lot of information. The spam, just a little bit of damage, letting them know that he knows they're there. Trex, now the lurker as Runner is down, but he won't find the shots on the surprised players. And they're sent back to make a late play, presumably to the A site already after catching Rien's. And I don't know if they know Miniboo's here.
What?
But they've got the shot anyways. I'll need that one. And I'm just going to say, slow it way down. Let's see if we've got a chance. Heretics, they might be in trouble. This could be the end. Booze dropped the spike. 8 seconds left. They've got to go quick. They've got to get in there and start the plant. And it might be just in time. Down to a fraction of a second. Killed by Woot. He's up close. Spike planted. It is indeed just across the line. And Benji Fishy was waiting on the other side of the map just in case they had ran low on time. But again, a fraction of a second in it, and they've bought themselves a 1v2.
He's just about going to spot out Sender, but doesn't get the tag. Trex is waiting, and Sender will close it. A map that nobody had managed to beat Heretics on in 10. The side of Vitality, but that's the thing.
And it was a loss.
As been proven by them already. They put the prep in, they put the work in. They're a team that can definitely come incredibly prepared to these matches. And also, I feel like just have like this almost natural synergy between them. They're going to kick things off over on that attack side.
Find you.
Already, Woot is going to be looking for that early information. He's under pressure. Sees already going through, and the wraparound from Rian as well. It was expected, already catching that opener for the side of Vitality.
Vitality with the advantage to work with, and after taking space and an orb, they'll wrap their way back around to the B side. At least for now, that seems to be the case. Moving to spawn where they can up the pace, and it looks like it'll be a pretty wide open site. It's only Boo from Team Heretics waiting on this B side. He's on long and has the ability to get out of here by taking the teleporter. Now that he's crossed back, he'll be falling to the site and hoping they don't catch him from hookah. Some steps were heard, and there's the info. He's seen so many of them. The molly to slow them down. He's sticking around. I thought he would have went back to the site already. Instead, he's going to nestle his spot underneath inside hookah. Oh, he's got a little gap in the wall. I love this. And he smoked himself off.
30 seconds left.
It's so ratty. The support util as well is even better from Woot. It's going to give them an opener back. The shot's not quite as nice from Miniboo though. But even still, 20 seconds left. The rest of the players ready and waiting. Woot's managed to hold the line at least a little bit longer. Benji finds another. This is somehow turning into their favor. But Wingman has managed to get that plant off. the spot of at least one of them as the swing comes out. And even though the ideas were good from Heretics, the round still goes Vitality's way.
Yeah, there were some great punish kills there with the utility, like you said. The fact that he grabs the information on long, mollies it off, and Boo goes back into hookah, finds the spot. Reveal comes, I think, through the TP, and it's gorgeous. Problem is, they don't hit some of their shots. And I think it comes down to something as simple as that. There were opportunities here for big damage to be done, but individuals on the side of Vitality are able to win their duels. Boo getting out is great. They punish the player jumping out, but from there, it's just free reign. Able to constantly take duels without the punish. That's Vitality's pistol under their belt.
And in case
You did good.
you just joined us, two things. One, the HUD will be back soon. Two, this game is everything for Vitality. For Heretics, they're qualified. They are going to Champions. Nothing can change that from this point onwards. For Vitality, they need to win either this game or the game in the lower bracket. And I'm going to put it this way, it might be a little bit nicer to get it done first time. I think even when you look at form currently, like the Heretics have been winning their games, but they've been close. Whereas you look at the likes of Foot, they've looked incredible. Fnatic have been getting better and better with Hero as they go along, and I wouldn't like to play either of those teams. Whereas if they can get it done here and now, go into that upper bracket final and guarantee themselves a spot in Seoul, it'll be the first time the organization and a lot of the players have ever made it there.
They've taken space on A to start off their adventure, and it's a successful frag through the smoke onto Woot. Pistols for the most part in here for Heretics, well, indeed for all of the parts. Well, they've managed to find one onto Runner. He only had a ghost himself, so no free upgrades to be found. And with Rienz as the last man alive and very much known to be around this angle, it wasn't meant to be. 4 players alive for Vitality, a solid follow-up, and this makes them pretty well armed coming into round number 3 to fight Heretics full buy.
Yeah, it puts them in a decent position, that's for sure. Vitality have looked fantastic throughout this match. Winning the bonus set them up nicely. Obviously, as Sue mentioned, this is Runner's first time on Viper, so something we need to keep an eye on. But again, like he said it in a previous interview, he feels like the Sentinel is the easiest role. This is sort of the quasi-Sentinel controller, so we'll see if that's still the case. The Heretics already taking some pretty aggressive control, deep within the showers, but the challenge seems to be going elsewhere.
Ores and orb emitting.
At least a late play by Vitality through that part of the map. I don't see too much outlaw on this map. From attackers specifically, you know, you can use it towards B long, try to grab the long range fights on A as well. If you're up in hookah, there's some angles. It's not terrible. But a lot of the time you get sectioned off into these close range fights. Smoke's covering a lot of distance now, already crept into the corner here. They do not look aware of this at all. In fact, he's got his back turned with players on the other side. It's free for Center. Comes at the cost of Trex's life, but that is a trade that they are happy to take. 3 versus 2, and Woot on a sliver of health after the outlaw fight.
Worth it. That's the thing. I can only assume that
Spike planted.
I might just opt to fall back off of this one, especially with Thrash available. There almost needs to be a mistake, and let's be real, the mistake has already been made in this round. Trex might feel a little hard done by, but it was definitely worthwhile. And Woot is basically waiting to see if anybody gives him the face. Now, Boo, oh, don't tell me he's going to get away with it. Oh, thank God, somebody finally kills a man that should have been dead long, long ago. But even still, a hell of a lot for Boo still to do. The time already ticking down and not having the knowledge of where these players are. Going for it might be risky, but he's managed to find one of them quickly. Even still, getting the plant from here is not going to be possible. The nade will deny it, and Safe was just playing the game to make sure that it's denied. It will be a triple kill for Boo, but Vitality won't care.
Now, 3-0 on the board. They're just watching the rounds rise as their lead is extended on further and further. For the side of Heretics, well, it's not the start they were looking for. Losing the pistol on this is utterly ridiculous. The fact that he is just sat, paranoia in hand, crouched in the corner. The freest kill of your life. And a beautiful double connection by Runner 2. Light shields and then into heavy. But he leaves Woot on 10 HP with almost no chance to survive. And, well, a headshot like that doesn't really take the HP into account. That's a 3-0 start. Safe 4-1. This is a factor of Vitality. If we saw Safe slow down, have a rough start, map might be over. He has been such a big factor, especially on Sunset. And it's good to see the win in his sails early on. Now, a lot of weaknesses for Heretics in this round. One of the pistols is already dealt with, and Benji and Miniboo also have some light shields across the board too, which makes Runner a deadly threat. But Benji Fishy's quick to adjust. That's one, make it two for Benji. His Sheriff is clean! Benji Fishy's 4K has put Heretics probably on the board. With 30 HP left, he's looking for the ace, and well, he's gonna have a chance for it. The shot fired doesn't land onto Trex, and he's sneaking ever closer to the angle. Here's your chance, Benji. Safe did it earlier, and now Benji Fishy matches an ace to put the first round up for Heretics.
He had to sit back down to retrieve the gun. He was celebrating so much he forgot that he only had a pistol in that round. An ace that, well, it's going to be difficult to forget for him, but also for the players over on the other side. As clean as can be for the first three, and well, a little bit of help from his friends in the end, but what a round.
That's beautiful. Just a quick switch. Oh, well. That's one way to put a round on the board. Said in the last map, just a few pistols for Heretics. You can't count them out. Got to fight for every round. And well, certainly true here. There you go. The showstopper's gone past him. Benji, he's unkillable. I don't know his rank, but he seemed to be immortal. Eventually, he's dropped. Ascender lands the shot, deletes the pit, and grabs the plant for the squad. Oh, no, he doesn't.
Information definitely there. A lot of counter utility being expended, and in fact, Miniboo's going to make a play off of it. He wants to try and get back into this round. 2 kills already. The trade's thick and fast, keeping this one at least even for the moment, but retreating might be difficult. Runner is going to take a nasty tag, and there's nowhere to go but back into the fray. The spike down on the deck, and a crossfire that's not going to be easy to break. Miniboo has been fighting tooth and nail throughout this round, but he is waiting for the contact of his teammate Boo. And there should be no way out of this round. It would have to be an immediate response, and while it's not even going to be needed, Boo is going to find the frag. A thoughtful round by either side, but Heretics look like they're back.
Oh, they absolutely do. An ace from Benji. And then even after he goes down like that, a big response coming out of Miniboo. These 2 kills were gorgeous. Lands a third around the site seconds later. As they emerge from the smoke, they meet him. And Benji's got to be looking across at him like, it's not an ace. And yet a rifle.
It's not bad. It's not bad. And so because of that, it's not even really worth investing much into this one, because the cost will be minimal unless you somehow steal the round.
Cover going out.
Back in the game in Heretics fashion. Close to neck and neck, but a buy for Heretics and not much for Vitality. We should see things equalized. The space taken by Safe. Even causing rotations. You can see Rian's making it to the spawn just now. He'll be reinforcing the A site, but it's only one man here. Causing all this chaos and leaving B a little bit more open for the rest of the squad. Thrash might grab some info though. This could be valuable. In fact, it's cleared out the site at least, and with one player TPing, now they know where the play is coming in. Benji needs to be careful. They've only got pistols, and every kill matters in a round like this for Vitality. That could have been a retrieved rifle, but he's made it out and slowed the plant.
The rest of the team already in position as well.
Crash back.
Spike planted.
Thrash going to be sent out. So much info already there. It's actually caught Miniboo. That's a mistake. He was right in front of everyone, and because of that, there are guns to be had. He's almost hand-delivered one. In fact, into the hands of Safe. There's nobody worse that could have gone to. Viper's Pit also used. This is now a problematic scenario. Safe has already found another, but it comes down to an even scenario, a 2v2. The health going back up, but Sender's in a great position, and now it's left all on to Benji. It's going to be a pay save card, Thrifty, that gets another round for Vitality, but I also feel like that comes more at the hands of Heretics.
Yeah, they've got to be devastated. Rian's throwing the ult in. I think he even detained one. I can't even remember off the top of my head if it was the Viper, but it was a free kill if Miniboo hadn't been caught by it too. That one's got to hurt. And a pay safe card Thrifty given to Vitality in the back. I said that should have been an equalized, and it started out well. They grabbed, yeah, it was. It was Runner as well. that was detained by it. So a free kill that drops the pit and gets rid of most of the danger of this round. And instead a timing, a tiny adjustment a little bit later from Miniboo, and it's the free round. 4-2. Vitality. Well, they've had a couple of rounds by a narrow margin. That one there's got to feel good with Heretics tripping themselves up, but now a full buy from the defenders and a showstopper in Miniboo's hands. He might have been sold down the river in the last round, but now he's going to be sailing this ship for Heretics when it comes to retakes.
Ultimates, other than that, at a minimal. Again, the lean in a lot of these early rounds has been towards that B site. They've looked to challenge on that side of the map quite regularly, but after showing some presence on that side, instead it's going to be the rotation in the other direction. The thing they have to be wary of is how far forward Wook currently sits. Maybe not the best gun for the job, but he's denying the space, and in fact, they're going to try and wrap him behind him. They got to be careful here.
Well, they weren't. Brazenly swinging into the angle, and Safe is too happy to punish. Boo left the 36 is in trouble. Showstopper used. This is the round they want to fight for. The Showstopper not going to land, and the pressure applied right after from both sides. It's Safe to find each kill. All three have been him, one with a nade, and two with the rifle. And now we look to Rienz and Benji Fishy. 2 versus 5 on the retake. They're not feeling it. This isn't the time to make their last stand. Vitality have claimed another round. 5-2 in the lead. This should have been Heretics at least equalizing, and instead they're left in a position where their credits aren't going to be great for the next round. And Vitality really starting to build up an economy with this, presumably Andaluthia Flawed.
No sweat.
With this 4 players left alive, so that's something.
Oh, you know, I don't know if it would have counted as a flawless anyway. There's people alive, right? I think it only counts if you have to kill them.
Yeah, it might be. Well, they're trying. They're certainly trying.
Oh, they actually cleared Benji within the edge of it as well. And Rienz, he's seconds away from his inevitable demise, but the time will save him this round at least. 5-2. Vitality off to a flyer, winning the bonus. A couple of seemingly blips on their radar, and then more importantly, this man is just going insane. We know the caliber that Safe brings to a team. We knew it at the time of his joining. We were waiting for him to get back on that duelist, back on the role where it truly feels like he can dominate opposition. Right now, he's 11-4.
You're seeing it on Team Heretics. Spirits not so high. The round they found on the back of an ace. The big 3K from Miniboo for the next, and since then it's been quiet. This is the kind of game I expected to see, but the shoe's on the other foot. It was Heretics I expected to be locking Vitality out of so many of these engagements. And if you run it back earlier in the season, that's probably what you get.
The crazy thing as well is imagine coming into today, seeing Icebox as the first map go the way of Heretics, and then Vitality potentially breaking not 1, but 2 maps where they have had unbelievable streaks. As I said, it was 10-0 in matches, or 10 in a row for the side of Heretics on Sunset. 6 in a row here. If they were to break both of those in 1 match to qualify them for champions, hey, we might actually have to talk about what damage this team can do. Because that's the storyline at the moment is, okay, EMEA, yeah, sure. We expect stuff from Fnatic. We expect stuff from Heretics. Foot have looked good. But the 4th team, what are the 4th team going to do? Well, if the 4th team qualifies by beating Heretics, I think that will be a statement in itself. This round, plant down, 1 gun for Rienz, everyone else just on pistols.
You might regret that, Tom. Benji was able to do it. Oh, kicks. He's gone.
Uh-oh.
He's in trouble. Chooses his own, so he keeps a bit more HP, but the trade is quick. Down to a 3 versus 3. Rienz and Boo very low. Diffuse already half. They've got to get out there. They've got to stop it. They do just that. Nice shot by Sender. Resets for the push behind him. And every step of the way here in that 3v3. Vitality, we're ready. 6 on the board. No upset. No pistol ace for Heretics this time. And in fact, there will be a pause with this lead going convincingly to Vitality. This is probably the right time.
Yeah, it's understandable. Like, there's no doubt that heading into that attack side can be a turning point for Heretics. Like, we've seen it. Again, you talk about their victory versus Coin GX 7-3 in the end to close out what was a solid defensive half. A 9-3 when they played it versus Na'Vi, so they could definitely do it. Into the league system. It's been a long time since then.
Yeah, and I saw those head-to-heads. Vitality, in the one sense, they'd be breaking history by taking Sunset and Bind, by defeating Heretics. At the same time, though, they always win, don't they?
Yeah,
in the head-to-heads. They've never lost against this squad, playing them once a year since the inception of Valorant. This time it's twice. Might be the same result. A big surprise to everybody involved, I have to tell you. If Vitality come in and say, we expected to win this game, I'll call them liars after seeing that veto, but, well, they might have something in it. Showstopper can't even find the kill. Runner's too quick with a wall bang headshot, and the site is theirs. Vitality taking it by storm. And there is a thrash for Rienz. That kill's huge. Okay, equalizing the numbers and taking away the main smoke. Some are already down, but Thrash now going through, clearing out the back and finding one for free.
That's going to deny Rienz. Annoyingly, he's actually the player that has themselves also with the ultimate online. So a counter Thrash, immediate, and that leaves Runner in trouble. But obviously Rienz is a little bit worried there's another player there, and he was right. But he catches both with the flash. Leaves one blind for Woot to kill, kills the other himself. Now it's left to safe, but this time there is no hope. Woot will be there to shut him out as a 4v4 retake, or a 4v5 retake, in fact. Ends up, well, flawless in a different sense.
I don't know what was said during that pause, but it seems like Heretics definitely got themselves gathered to fight back into this. Again, two
maybe
big plays.
Weber gave them another uwu or something like that. That would motivate me. Have you not seen the clip?
Yeah, no, I have. I'm just, that would motivate you, would it?
Definitely.
Okay. Well,
only from Weber, though.
We're going to do nothing but win our rank games from now on. I'll get him in the coach slot.
To be honest, if we're
playing
playing Weber,
Weber,
we'll win.
we're sorted. We're out of it. Diamond Ascendant lobbies are going to be terrorized. But 6-3, Vitality. Well, they've got a good amount of rounds here on the attack. We know that, as you said earlier, Tom, the pace could definitely change.
Yeah.
Once Heretics move to the attack, you want to see a good buffer built up for this current attacking side. And they're spread. One man on every position across the map with who could double down on. They'll prod for some space. They're not intending to take it here. Not yet.
Flash. Doesn't quite pop. Doesn't allow that information. And just of the last possible tick of that Prowler, you're going to know that there's at least a couple of players here. Again, constant control of showers is a big part of things for Heretics. In fact, 3 players there this time to try and challenge versus Trex, but thus far in the game he's done well. He's got to be careful. They might be a little bit further forward than he's expecting them to be. In fact, they're just running it straight down. He's taken so much damage, there is no escape. And this time, well, they like to combine with him to wrap around and surround the players. That can't happen.
Yeah, I think they realized once the Haunt got thrown through that he's just a lot closer and he can't get away. Content to force the fight. Nice reveal. Where's the follow? There it is. The shot lands eventually, and will lose his life on an ambitious play while blinded. But the rest of the squad still holding strong with Sender up top. He's got 2 players coming right at him. Not an easy fight to win, and not one he'll claim. Safe now. Last man standing. Something makes me believe he can win that from what I've seen before, but not this time. Heretics, a well-oiled machine these last 2 rounds. It's 4 on the board, and the gap is closing.
Yeah, I think the last couple of rounds we've seen them much more willing to give up control, but like claim it elsewhere. Like this is an aggressive stance, but you also saw it in the last round where they didn't try and recommit quickly and explosively stop them. They waited for them to get into afterplants and then fought back together. And again, that's where we've always given credit to this team, is that considering they're so young, in many cases inexperienced, they always seem to have that team synergy when it's put into play. I think the early rounds, they just weren't doing that. And also, I think Vitality were doing a really good job of disrupting them, like being safe, catching players before they could get back together and group up. Even still, though, a good opportunity for a big half mini boot. Well, he's just been picked out of the sky. Trying to make more of a solo play. Basically the opposite of what I was saying about the last 2 rounds, and that's not the start they're looking for.
Not ideal. I think Rienz threw Dizzy up as well, but those players were too far back to get caught by it.
It might be because Trex has been playing solo outside of A so
yeah,
often.
Could be.
So they just went, okay, that guy's been showers like 3-4 rounds, let's just try and kill him, and instead there's 4 players waiting.
And if they were, again, grouped up a bit more to take that fight, they get hit by the Dizzy, you're getting 2 kills probably.
True.
Saw how grouped up they were But yeah, just the fact Vitality of so many players backed off, clear from the flash,
Well.
it's a problem. And now the stack up from Heretics towards the A side after initial contact. They expect the play to come in. Viper walls up, causing problems. They could be crossing. They could be close, about to burst around the corner and take the fight against Boo. And now the utilities fall and they realize no one's here. Well, they're going to feel a little bit silly because the plant clearly focused on the B site.
You see from Vitality's perspective, this side could be stacked.
30 seconds left.
So they're still going to do their due diligence. Boo, though, again, it's him every time. Each time there's a spot where you go, okay, this is going to have to be a 4v5 retake. He finds a kill that's high impact, giving them a chance in a round that was looking bleak.
And Woot sending his utility through the TP to open the door. You have almost no time to react. The guy materializes and instantly is shooting at your head. Very hard to react to, and a good punish. Taking a player off the side of Vitality for the post plan. Now split into two sides. You've got Long and you've got Elbow to deal with, and it's not easy. Safe falls after just one, though, in the plan. The defuse, in fact, already halfway. They've got to be careful, and indeed, there is a big swing from the side of Vitality, conscious that the defuse could be coming through any second, and they face into a lot of guns.
This has been really impressive. Like these last few rounds, even when there's been a loss, which has happened in most of them, they're fighting back 4v5, I think every single round except last.
There it is.
Yeah, the flash actually does catch safe, it's just that he had support. That was it. They wanted to try and almost play off of that, but this is it. It's Boo getting one back, and then in the retakes, they've just been perfect. Rien's holding the line, Woot making sure nobody else can get out. Well, you wouldn't expect in each of these retakes, it's either been even or a disadvantage, and they're coming out on top with that many players standing.
Now starting to build up some momentum. The defenders, we said we wanted to see Vitality with a big lead. At least some foundations to play from. Hello! Safe's right up close. There could still be a chance. A 2-round gap and a pistol. Start to run away with it. Put up enough of a buffer that Heretics' attack side won't be quite as scary. With Woot down, with Mini Boot down, it looks like that's the reality we live in. Plant to be secured any second now. It's safe planting, and that's a showstopper online. One target left to find. Benji Fishy up against the world. Not just the 4 players, but the rocket launcher of safe that he's all too keen to use. Last round, he ain't gonna be using it in the next, and, well, yeah.
No chance.
Pick your poison,
That's
a rocket or a
times.
sniper.
Both times he's used the showstopper. Runner has killed the guy before he gets to fire it. Just a little bit too quick, but he's not gonna mind. A last round to at least cement them the lead, but as we've said many a time, going onto this attack side, you're talking about clean halves. Again, you look back the last, well, there you go, 6 times they've played this map. I think the most anybody has managed is 4 rounds. That was on the attack side. That was 100 Thieves. Since then, it's been two rounds versus their attack, 3 rounds for Na'Vi versus their attack, and 3 for Koi and GX as well. So they're gonna have to, again, prove that this defensive side is solid for Vitality, that the work has been done elsewhere, but I don't even want to really dwell too much on those stats. We saw it in the last one. We're talking about a team on a 10-map win streak. It's irrelevant. They broke that. They beat it. Now going on to this half, sure. If they're still popping, if they're still feeling confident, they can easily close out this game.
Absolutely. For Vitality, it's gonna carry a lot of weight here in this pistol, and that started out beautifully. Another nade for Safe, but he won't get to fire it off. Luckily, Sender's already here. And although Boo drops him, he's got 2 more to deal with. Spike down in the open, and he's a little slow getting there. He didn't know the other players weren't on site, but now they most certainly are. Stacked up and ready with a Viper wall blocking him out. Thought he was gonna go back, play around through hookah, but I think he probably has a better chance walking out along without having to make the jump.
This is the thing. Well, Trex has spotted an angle. It's probably the last man you want to be up against in these sort of positions. The most cerebral player when it comes to Team Heretics. They're trying to fight this one together, but he's not giving them a chance. Looking for some shots through the screen. Molotov just to make sure nobody snuck into the close corner. And well, the high-low is not going to be broken this time around. Lead extended for Vitality. Pistol not going in the direction of Heretics as they would have hoped. That is now both of them going the way of Vitality. And they now find themselves just 5 rounds away from making that trip to Seoul, joining the other 3 EMEA teams looking to fight for the region. But
Nice.
as we've said already,
Nice.
until it's not over until it's over, and Heretics, well, they want to take that easy route to the grand final. It's where we expect them to be heading.
We still have a few questions left for Vitality once rifles come out from Heretics, but this round shouldn't be where there's major resistance. Not a single pistol invested into. All class 6, although Miniboo's very close, and Sender close to death. He'll fall back, he'll fall back. Hello? He's 5 HP. He'll fall back. No, he'll keep fighting now that he's got teammates behind him. That is honestly a little bit of a ludicrous play. And Trex, he doesn't even take the upgrade, goes in with the stinger. Vitality feeling confident, looking confident, and now 9 on the board.
It's definitely not even the ultimate that you really want to be farming up from the shadows of the lot that they have. It's definitely at the bottom, but hey, it's only going to be a stinger that ends up being lost and a few shields along the way. This, though, is where Vitality are coming up against the buy. It's where Heretics will have those rifles, full shields on every single player, and the expectation again is this is where the tide will turn, but we've been saying that for a while now. Said it on the previous map, saying it here, and again, it's a similar sort of deficit that they have to fight back against.
I'll say this as well. Miniboo, you mentioned it earlier, he's been hypercritical of himself. You know, this is a guy right now that views himself as someone that should always be doing heavy lifting, should always be at the top. He had a 3K round in one of the first. He's got 5 kills right now. I mean, far be it from me to criticize him, but my goodness, the morale now has to be feeling low. I want to see him get around where he's activated, where he's finding a little bit more success and his confidence can go right back up high. For Rienz, well, it won't be his round to do that. He's been shut down by Runner with an opening pick, and Vitality, they've got themselves at least an advantage in numbers, but they still have a few nasty positions to root out. Miniboo, inside the lamps, this could be his chance.
The fight between the fades, and Trex is so patient. Miniboo is only going to manage the one, and now already that defusal has begun. Molotov, it's not going to stop it from getting it to half. In fact, I don't know if it's going to stop it at all. It's not. Eventually, they kill off the wingman, but it's too little too late. That was way too clean for a round that had some weaker weapons in it. Vitality now 3 away.
Miniboo lands a couple of clean blows. That was it. He was isolated and had his chance, and he capitalized on it, but the rest of the fight's lost, and there's not much you can do about that. Can't put all the weight on one man's shoulders, unless I guess it's Benji Fishy with a Sheriff. 10-5.
Or safe.
Or, well, listen, I mean, safe is just a guarantee.
The exception that proves the rule.
The man seems to have no pressure on his shoulders.
I feel like this is the same as the last map.
No, it is, exactly. He was 20-9 on the dot, about this stage of the last map. Maybe even a little deeper.
As said, he's gunning for champions. Made it there with Liquid. Went out 0-4 in maps already. Sender under pressure from Miniboo, but again, he's going to survive. This man doesn't seem to fear the fight, but Safe has gone down. It was exactly the same in the last half, where they managed to win the bonus round and then ended up losing to a weaker purchase. This one definitely has a bit more in terms of investment, but even still, the advantage still sits with Vitality for now. Kicks, fighting, winning those battles, has Sender alongside him, and they clean it up with relative ease. 2 rounds now as Vitality get closer and closer to Champions qualification.
I had a lot of questions for Vitality coming into this, and, well, it seems like I'm starting to run out. We're getting close to asking the last one. Morning or afternoon? Which flights would you prefer?
Well, the thing is, I know as well that Gorilla is probably going to watch back this demo and just be like, I know you didn't expect us to win Sunset and Bond. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
we're
of course
getting
we
some
didn't. Of course we didn't.
You know what, though, I'll defend that. I'll defend, especially with
Chatting like straight fire, and so he had to pull his ear downs afterwards.
God's sake. Well, I think the main thing, showstopper, off rip for Vitality. It looks like that's what's going to happen. Blast back immediately, and Safe is in. Seen this play before. Not as many players awaiting him, no. And Heretics have backed off completely. Space conceded. If he shoots this through the TP and kills one, I'm going to lose my mind.
I think it ran out before he could. Or at least fire it at an angle that wouldn't just fire it directly into the corner. Trex under pressure. Sees has caught. And not going to be able to leave. Not going to be able to get out of that smoke. That'll be one of the blast packs gone. However, Rienz has still managed the opener. Kicks with a response. Looking for a little bit more, but they hold the line. The Boo brothers strong. And while Runner a little bit too far away from the action. Well, that snakebite might have delayed, but it definitely wouldn't have delayed it for a minute. Oh, the thing is, they've got the finances. He can try and risk it through, but it's not going to be anything. after the fire pause coming out from Neozenio. They do win themselves around, but the question is, do they have 5 more in them to equalize?
Well, that's it. Yeah, it is certainly a long road. We saw Heretics in a similar position on Sunset. They managed to make it close, got up to double digits, but Vitality had too much of a lead. And actually coming into this, you know, the fact that we only end up 7-5 at the half, and it could have been neck and neck, I still wasn't very confident, very wary of what Heretics can pull out on the attack, and we could still see those attacker rounds build up. But for Vitality, they have so many chances, so many credits as well. And sure, the Showstopper was used in the last, and for Heretics, a lot of ults are coming very close to being online. Miniboo could even have Showstopper of his own in this round. He certainly will for next. On Vitality, it's not quite the same story. Certainly not the same punchy ults that you'll have on the attack. Slow play. Waiting for Vitality's aggression, expecting them to go pushing up, but they did that last round because they had a Showstopper. This time, much more passive face from this defensive side.
Maybe a little bit wary. I don't think Miniboo actually collected the orb there. Didn't want to get isolated. We'll get one on the other side, and while the aggression fails until Trex somehow corrects his aim in time, and he's looking for a little bit more. 3 kills. Spike down though. They're gonna have the Thrash available. Rian's desperately trying to find a place to use it. Both going in. He might just get caught because of it, but Boo has also found a kill. It's going to be left onto the IGL as he tries to escape. Boo looking to hold the line, but he's just not in a position to do anything. He wants to try and play that post farm, but it will go to half. There's nothing he can do to deny that. And now with the time ticking away, 2 players still to find. They are just waiting for him to make a mistake, to make a move, and kicks too quick. 12 on the board for Vitality. 6 chances to confirm their flight.
6 chances to lock in Korea. What an unbelievable journey this has been for the Vitality squad. They've had their troubles. They've had their ups and downs, let me tell you. But to get to Korea through Heretics on Sunset and Bind,
Nice!
this is a team the international scene will be terrified of. 6 in a row for Heretics on the other hand. And it starts with a Viper's Pit and a Showstopper. Good ultimates to have, but you can't even just expend them here. I mean, you can, but you might want to keep them for future rounds. It's a long road, and one that you have to be tempered with. So you use up all of this util, all of these abilities. Heretics on their way to B. Already a bit of aggression. It's Kicks and Sender waiting there on long. Oh, they're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble.
Immediate Nightfall. That's 1 player killed. Sender's still standing, but only for a second. Miniboo immediately looks to try and recharge that ult, picks up an orb, and the plant will come through. Trex already tagged up. This retake's not going to be easy.
Nice snake bite. Boo's forced into the corner. His HP is ticking down. He's down to 14 before he eventually leaves, conscious of a spam. Woot falls, and with Boo low, this could be very scary. In fact, Miniboo, he was decayed, but he's getting his HP back. A few points of it tipped off here. He's down to 6 and caught by Trex. Okay, with Boo low, this is getting very scary indeed. The IGL still able to put up 1, and Rienz does his own work. It's safe, having to clutch this all the way, and Boo still survives, thrives in the late round. 5 more for Heretics.
It was a bold call to sit in that snakebite the entire time, assuming that it would be certain doom to try and make it out of there, while it was expected, had to make the move eventually, and he ends up being the most important player once again, top of the board for his side, alongside Rienz. There's still been a quieter day at the office for the likes of Wu. Someone with the highest of expectations after his performance at Masters and throughout the previous split. Even still though, many a chance, plenty of time for Vitality to just squeak out that 1 round, and well, to say that wasn't a close one would be a lie.
Immediate aggression through the TPs. It's Woot to catch Sender though. That has not worked. I think they might even have thrown a Paranoia through. At least it looked like they wanted to. Doesn't seem to matter. Heretics land the opening. Ready for the aggression, at least for a moment. But Safe might. Doesn't look like he's caught the timing. Benji's still watching and still peeking, and there's the info locked in. Viper's Pit used by Vitality. They'll try to send them towards the other side of the map, which is much lighter defended. And without any bathroom control, someone has to keep an eye on it. Be a two-man setup on A and a two-man setup on B. They need to land their shots on the way through, or that Viper's Pit could secure the round for Heretics.
Even with the advantage, I wouldn't be overly surprised if we see the Nightfall expended by Woot. They just don't have the information to risk this one. Viper's Pit down. Or being used to try and just claim some of that space. Already though, the Mosh, well, the hope will be to deny it. It's going to slow them down a little bit. There goes that Nightfall. Information garnered, but they will be able to stop the plant. 20 seconds late. Safe is now the last line of defense on this site. He's trying his best to deny that plant, but the Viper's Pit should confirm it unless he has something crazy with the spam, and in fact, it's back the other way.
It looks now like that's enough. And Vitality are even conceding. Sending it to the other side of the map, but the weapons carrying them through. 6 in a row, turns into 4 in a row for Team Heretics with this round victory.
It's the same again, isn't it? It's literally the same.
Yeah, exactly the same as Sunset. Question is, will the result be the same? Last time, Heretics got up to double digits before they eventually met their demise, before Vitality pulled a big round out. And again, players like Safe are still activated, still having his rounds. It's only a matter of time. At least it feels like that. Before Vitality will have that one that pulls it across the line. Nice shot by Boo. Big punish with runner left as the last man alive. And the credits are struggling on the defense. This might hurt their next buy, leave Heretics with a way right back in. And yeah, it was the paranoia at the very start of the round by Sender, but he didn't catch a player on his left.
Again, I've hyped up those Vitality pauses throughout this one. Gorilla and Comet again going to be given a chance to try and talk this one through. Financially, the played through the VLRs in the past wasn't a big part of the sort of challengers landscape at the time. Now though, they're right in the thick of it. But to say that Heretics are just going to go down without a fight, well, you'd have to be a fool.
4 in a row might seem like a lot, but this squad has managed bigger streaks of rounds than that many a time on this map. Miniboo, well, he's got that kill locked in with Safe down. Reveal is good. Oh, Trex is caught by a spam out from Rian's. Nice stuff. And they've got the information on Runner. Unlikely to see them push into that angle, knowing there's some weaknesses in play, or there should be, could be. It's left down to, I guess, Sender. He was the only one with a rifle. Just a shorty that's trapped, and they very much know where that player is from the utility a little bit earlier. Confirmed here. And okay, they do push into him, but just to tickle him up, get him into the open. 33 HP now. And any second, he'll be going down. Oh, I like that. Yeah, Snakebite worked. It was supposed to go a little bit deeper. Lands his kill for it, and then gets wall banged out. 9 to 12. 3 more for Heretics. Rifles for Vitality coming up next.
This is where the combo breaker came in before. Although I believe at that point there was still a bit more wiggle room. That was the difference, is that we were in a spot where Heretics still had an extra round to play with. Not this time. They need to double what they've just achieved, but we are starting to see some of the players come back up. As I said, Woot have been quiet. He's starting to move up that board. I think Boo's been fantastic alongside Rian's. And Safe has slowed down a little bit. I was talking about him being 20 and 9. He's now 21 and 15, but as you said, it always feels like at any moment that man could just end the game.
Now Thrash has got far. Thank you, Stimbeacon. And they will be able to retrieve it if they keep up that fight. Although I look at Rian's position and I don't think he's involved in that. They just wanted to take the space with the ult, and now reset into the post plant. For Heretics, full control with their back completely sectioned off. All they have to do is look forward. Orbital strike in play for Boo as well. A big factor for this post plant. That's why he's gone back down on mid, and they're just harassing them on the way out, spamming through smokes, blast packing out, and now they keep this clock running down, knowing that they've got the abilities to stop the defuse and to make it even more difficult.
Miniboo's only goal was to buy as much time as humanly possible. Rian's is just spamming through the smoke. It's like it's not even there. 3 kills. There was a Molotov on the spike just in case there was any danger. But the only danger in this server right now is Rian's. Trex nowhere near the action, just trying to hold on to a gun. And what was a 6-round lead, 6 attempts, now comes down to 2.
I have to say, Rience, I'm not sure what that one was. I don't know what you can do on the side of Vitality
That's
for a
4
round like
kills
that.
were through smoke.
Insanity.
All of their kills were smoke kills, and then Trek saved.
When you do something like when you have a round like that, there is Riam that your opponents can do. Absolutely nothing. 2 chances now for Vitality to close this out. They had 6.
Yeah.
And it started to slip from their grasp. Showstopper Orbital Strike online for the attackers as well. Thrash for Vitality. And well, Sander can rotate. This will be a devastating way to see this fall out of their hands if Heretics actually manage to fight their way back up, push to an OT and send Vitality down below, but there's a lot of room between here and there. Oh, look who's threading the needle. It's Runner up close. He's got one for his trouble. Traded out immediately.
Yeah, they managed to hold on to some control. Minibu's not expecting Treks. They'll keep that man advantage. Thrash being sent out. It will clear so much space, buy so much time back. And well, there goes the showstopper, but the player's already moved. A little bit of a waste in the end. It's cleared an angle, but bear in mind that orbital strike is still there. Bear in mind the guns are still not there on the other side, and Woot was still just that snake in the grass. It's left all on to Sender. Time ticking, Spike not halved, and they know exactly where he is. He's trying to bait someone into the fight. In fact, they are going to go check it, but at this stage, it should be too little too late. And even still, Benji will close it out. One more chance for Vitality to lock in champions. Otherwise, this might just slip out of their hands.
One more round, and what a play by Woot. He's been a little quieter, but he makes that wraparound, reading the space that was left open perfectly and capitalizing on all these players. In fact, if he did that a second earlier, they wouldn't have bothered wasting the orbital strike. They had a player to do all the work.
That's
that
why
ult was
they didn't
meant
use
for.
it in the last round. It's because
Yeah.
Rience just did it a little bit quicker.
Well, you know, they might have expanded the ult, and indeed they won't have any ultimates to work with here, but that hasn't been the main factor of finding the success for Heretics. One more round, and overtime is guaranteed.
It's been a brawl. It's been a battle. Runner at
Well
least
done.
gets one. That's something to play with. Keeps things even for now, but it's going to be pressure put onto Kicks. Desperately trying to slow them down. Safe has gone running. He is trying to sprint in to help his teammate out, but Woot's going to ruin him with that shorty. Safe, as said, he was 20-9, now 21-17. He has gone quiet, deadly quiet for his standards. A rotation coming through, and they've got to try and find a way back in.
Yeah, 1-8 since that 20-9. It's not a pretty look. He was activated, but now shut down. So is Woot, though. Here we go. Team Heretics losing some players. Benji Fishy manages to answer back up onto Sender, but here, a big response from Vitality, leaving it onto Safe. He's slowed down, but this could be his chance. The time is going to be a huge factor. Stepping in during the molly. Just one bullet needed, and there it is. Straight to the head by Boo. Heretics have come all the way back. 12-12, overtime locked in. And Vitality, with 6 chances to lock in Korea, have got to be devastated. But they've still got a chance to fight. It's not over yet.
No, but it almost feels like it might be. Dreams potentially being shattered. Heretics,
Last player standing.
the demons that will keep Vitality awake all night long. And that's the thing, this means everything to every member on the stage. But as said at that moment, if there was any point to doubt
This will drive you mad. For Vitality, I can't imagine the emotional roller coaster they've just been on. Thinking about their flights being booked, and now, distant memory, they've got to fight for it yet again. The advantage no longer theirs. We're neck and neck. Heretics on the defense. It seems like they're working back as that well-oiled machine for Vitality. They'll need to show us that face. Orb taken by Kicks. Presumably, we're going to see a long wraparound to B-Long to fight for the extra orb there, to grab the plant, to have post-plant Thrash. Very powerful strategy to bring in to the overtime. And it hasn't been taken, that orb. Not grabbed by Benji Fishy.
not worth the risk.
On a round like this.
Much slower
Oh, they're going back.
stance for Vitality. And a much more passive one for Heretics. Think about how many times we saw them take over the showers and try and use that in the post-part. I do think that Heretics have just realized if we play retake, we win. Like, it has worked for them so many times. Boo, though, maybe taking the bait. He's going to go over a little bit earlier. That might actually be an additional smoke put down just to try and defend off in case they went towards hookah. Instead, they're now making their move onto A.
Remember Jan's flash B long 10 seconds ago. They know now that there's no one there. It has to be the A hit. They're ready for it, but Woot's still the first to fall. Trex and Safe are answering up. Vitality needs some hope, and it looks like they're the ones to deliver it. Although the Molly takes down Safe, it's worth it. They've taken the space. Runner and Trex both low. The utility damage is pretty massive, and Heretics have thrived in these positions because of it. But without Miniboo and without Woot, this is a big challenge for the squad. Man disadvantage, and shots need to hit.
Paranoia thrown through. 2 players here under pressure, and Riens has managed to level things up. Runner already tagged, same for Trex, and the time is going to be ticking. I assume he's going to retrieve the wingman, but there just isn't time. Already peeking out one by one, and they take those fights. They take the round. The combo breaker for Vitality, and once again, they have another match and series point.
Oh, they are back in the game. Vitality. If they lose this one, I actually don't have faith. If they lost the last one, I didn't have faith in them being able to bounce back into OT. After losing 6 rounds in a row, what would have been 7, and you go right back to that same position. But here, getting it done with Runner 50 HP, with Trex on 26. They dig deep when they need it. One more, a solution on the defense. They had it. All those first couple defensive rounds, Heretics looked lost. They couldn't find space. They couldn't find picks. But now, well, their history is 6 in a row. Let's see if they can make it 7 on the attack and bring us to another overtime.
It's definitely the side where they've looked more confident. There's no doubt about it. Be it attack side rounds or playing their defense rounds as retakes, it kind of shows that they like taking the site and not so much holding on to it. Vitality, it just comes down to needing one. An idea to force them back and try and take the fight, but instead, it's a lot of utility used, and it's given them some information, but it can't really pull a rotation just yet. It's going to be on to Runner, straight away taking that fight, but he's only going to get the one.
It's close for Trex. Those bullets whiz past the head. We're still neck and neck, still equal. Sees through, doesn't land much. These players actually looking to fight. Team Heretics are upping the pace, trying to spam through that choke point. Already ahead of it was Safe, but he's tagged down low. A little bit of that is decay, and it will bring him right back. Sender, a little whiffy at the start, but he gets there with Trex up in heaven. It looks like Vitality might just be seconds away from closing this. They have to be careful of Riens. He wasn't cleared in the corner, and he manages to find one. The 1v1, the Thrash. Which way does he go? The right way, but a little bit shallow. Kicks is still ready to fight. The shot now going to be everything, and it's Kicks to land it. The shot that sends them to champs. The defuse will be found, and 14-12 on Sunset, on Bind. They've